This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I are playing the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is Desperate Measures. It was written by Keith Craig, who is also our Keeper of Arcane Lore, and this is a one-shot. Before we begin, please consider joining our Patreon. Any small contribution will be much appreciated. So without any further delays, let's begin our journey into the darkness. Keith?
All right, thank you, Thom. It is September 5th, 2023 in Lincoln, Nebraska, in the middle of the continental United States. It's typical for the Midwestern weather. It cooled off for just a bit, and then it is gotten warm once more. The humidity is on the rise. We join our investigators at the office of Samuel Blackburn, a private investigator. He has an appointment with a woman named Mara Perry. She's grown quite frustrated with the private eye that she had hired a few weeks ago, and she's looking to make a change. Well, she comes into the office. She looks like she's probably about in her late 20s. An attractive woman, but you can see that like maybe she hasn't been sleeping the best lately. Got a little bit of bags under her eyes and everything. And she comes in. She's like, "Are you the detective?"
Yep. Samuel Blackburn, that's me. But you can call me
Oh,
Sam if you'd like.
oh. Well, thank you. Well, I appreciate you being able to get an appointment in quickly. I didn't know how busy you were lately at all.
I mean, I'm always open for new jobs, as
Oh.
long as the client pays, of course.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I'll be able to pay. I mean, I don't know if it'll be too. I mean, it's kind of strange. He's like going. I guess I'll just start at the beginning. I grew up here lived here in Lincoln my entire life. Things were going well as a little girl. When I was 10 years old, my mother. Well, I guess when I was 9 years old, my mother gave birth to a younger sister. Uh, and I guess she had some postpartum depression or all. No. About when my sister would have been about a year old, my mother smothered her in her crib. She uh, she was, of course, sent to prison, and she's been there ever since. She's the state penitentiary, just a few miles down the road and all. Well, my father continued raising me, and things were going fine until about 4 weeks ago. I received a phone call from Detective Billy Appleton of the California Highway Patrol. He said that a woman was struck by a car running across the interstate up there back in January, and she was classified as a Jane Doe, and they took her DNA and did a little backwards tracing through genealogical family research, and she's my sister. But I told him that didn't make sense. My sister had been dead for 16 years now. He said, "Well, your mother and your father are definitely the parents to this woman, and you were the only other offspring."
Hmm, very interesting. And you're sure that your parents didn't have any other children? Uh,
It if they did, then they never said. I went and asked my father about this, and he said that no, they had no other children.
Hmm.
Was the woman who was killed, was she your age? Did she look your
Uh,
age?
she was she was 10 years younger, which would be about appropriate for my younger sister.
Hmm.
Yeah. I didn't go
And
claim
both
the body. I had no, besides essentially a DNA connection, I had no connection to this person. And, money's tight. It can be flying out to California. But
it showed both your mother and your father. So it wasn't that your mother had a child outside or your father did.
Yeah.
no.
So what have they done with the body since? Has it been cremated or?
Uh, I believe they buried her in a county cemetery, a Potter's Field, or what they called it.
And
Surprised they do that anymore.
did the body have, did the person have anything on them? Like no ID, of course, since it was a Jane Doe, but any other things on them, on their person?
From what the detective said, the woman was exceptionally filthy and dressed in rags. But I was just going to let it go, and then I just couldn't. It just kept gnawing at the back of my mind, and so I hired a a private eye, a Sean Ferguson. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's a local private eye. He works. He's got an office out the strip mall downtown,
Huh.
and to see if he could look
Oh,
into it.
I'm familiar with Sean. I mean, I wouldn't recommend him to anyone, but yeah,
Oh, obviously, yeah, I've been trying to get a hold of him for the past 3 weeks, and he hasn't answered any of my phone calls. Went down to his office. He's not there. You know,
typical.
I gave him a retainer and everything.
Hmm.
I just what
And
what bothers me is that, like, if that was my sister, who, whose child did my mother kill, and how did this happen?
There should be medical reports. I can I can do whatever lawyers do to get that stuff released to us.
Yeah,
Um, Sam, are we going to take this case?
yeah, sure. We can discuss payment with Miss. I'm sorry, I forgot the name.
Perry.
Miss Perry. But it sounds like a case we could definitely tackle. We
Oh,
can we can show that Sean that we're made of, that we're a step above him.
What police department called you?
this is the California Highway Patrol.
And
And
what date was the accident?
It was back in
4 weeks back.
January. Back in January is when the
No.
accident happened. It took him a while to be able to, know, do the tracing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
genealogical stuff takes a while to get through. Okay.
probably wasn't a high priority either. I mean,
Miss Perry, your murdered sister, was she born in a hospital or was it a house birth?
uh, she was born in the hospital here in town, St. Mary's, I believe.
You know what your mom named her? Or was she
Yeah,
named?
she was named. Is Maxine.
See. Is Perry your maiden name or are you married?
It is my maiden name.
So
It's
Maxine Perry.
Peri. So a lot of people spell it ending with a Y, but It ends with an I.
I'll get on the phone right now and see what I can. At least prepare them because we'll probably have to go down to county and look up any records we can find.
Oh,
So I'll go into the other room and I'll make phone calls. Just tell them what we're looking for.
okay. Yeah, like birth records, death records.
I probably have connections, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm. Okay.
I would like to start with an online search.
Hmm. And what are you looking for?
Basically, first check the story if it was reported, right?
Okay.
Both the murder of the sister and during the childhood, right, and the incarceration of the mother, and then if there was a report of a Jane Doe being struck
Okay.
on a highway.
All right. Find a report on the murder of the sister and the mother going to jail. You can get that without any issue. You have a name to search, a time frame. You can find that without any issue. Uh, the Jane Doe, it takes a little bit longer, but I'm not gonna make you roll for it. You do find it's just a short little blurb because like a woman struck crossing the interstate. No charges expected for the driver.
Right. And then would like to start a more deep search, basically checking Mora's online presence, right, to see if there is anything weird in that. It probably take time, right, to
Yeah,
have it
yeah,
all done,
that,
but
that,
gradually to start a bit of e-stalking,
okay.
kind of,
Oh yeah. So do what Mira is up to. I gotcha. Okay. Anyone else?
Are either the parents still alive, or did I miss that?
Her mother is still alive, still in the prison. Her father passed away, uh, just last year.
Okay. Would probably eventually want to see if we could get court records about what the case under that put her in jail, the details that were underneath that, and if we could possibly get a visit and ask her questions directly. You think so, Samuel?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. So I'll get on the phone with the prison and
Okay. Hmm.
I got it.
Okay. Yeah.
I yell
So
out. I hear you.
yeah, it comes in, and you got the paperwork on there. You of course have all the birth records, the death records, and all that, and of course like her prison sentence and her prisoner number and all that. All that's public record, so it's no issue at all to find.
I'll see if I can find all of the stuff that the lawyers probably put together to put the mother,
Hmm.
if she was out of her mind and raving about something, then that would all be recorded.
Okay, yeah. That one's going to be a library use.
Library or a lawyer? Library. I got a 47 out of 65.
So,
Regular.
yeah, you do find the court records, and her public defender did try and did put in an insanity plea. She was claiming that she didn't kill her child. It wasn't her child. It wasn't even human.
Weird. Look at all of this. It says that, she was either psychotic or, is the woman still here, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Mhm.
she had psychological problems.
yeah, she had
Uh,
postpartum depression.
uh, Mira, do you recall her having odd behavior before the child was born? You were a
Uh,
child yourself.
yeah, I was a child myself, and so yeah, she was the only mother I knew, and so she,
So mommy acting weird wouldn't really
right, yeah,
register.
that's mother's there. Dad said that she was a a good wife and mother before that. just couldn't seem to connect with Maxine.
And so the baby was smothered when she was around 1 years old, right? Did
Yes.
you did you interact with the baby before that? Did you notice anything
I
strange about the baby?
I mean, I shouldn't be ashamed to say it. I was a child. I was a little jealous. I mean, for 9 years,
Sure.
I was an only child, and I was their whole world. And then suddenly, I'm not.
No, that's very common. You don't have to be ashamed for something like that.
Well, where did the child, if it wasn't your sister that was smothered, then where did the other child come from?
I don't know.
No,
A
I
question.
understand. I'm just
Hmm.
musing
Got it.
out loud.
Musing.
Mm.
Oh, yes, yes.
It
Where
could be
this
a case of switched babies in the hospital.
And there would probably be another person wanting to know where their baby was.
I think what Mr. Howley is suggesting, Lark, is that there was a switch babies in the hospital, so somebody else raised Maxine, right? Maxine was the baby that was. So basically, it would be that Mira's biological sister was raised by someone else and was struck on the side of the road, and the baby that was brought home by the Perrys was not their child. I think that is what Mr. Howley is suggesting. I have a question,
Yes.
and that is this Billy Appleton with the Highway Patrol.
Yes.
Where was where did the accident occur? If we're in Lincoln, Nebraska, um
Um,
where was the accident?
the interstate that goes north south in California, the near Bernardino.
50, I mean,
I-5.
the 15 going that way. No, the I-5 is to the west.
Why do you know California roads so well?
I don't know. It's like
Love
San
map.
Bernardino. It sounds like I could throw a rock and hit San Bernardino.
We might also want to speak with the officer who found the body. But
Yeah,
maybe we
that's
can see if we can read his report first.
I
Yeah,
should be able to
Appleton,
pull up
that's
the
it.
report.
Yeah, yeah. Good.
Would I be able to put in? I don't know if I would some calls to people I know, like within the hospital. Try to. Well, actually, I guess that wouldn't. I was thinking about an autopsy report, but I guess that probably wouldn't go through the hospital, really.
I'll have to get, okay, I'm going to use lawyer speak now, but I don't know lawyer speak. So I'll have to
Okay.
get an injunction to summon that from a judge to get that information released to us.
Sounded good
I
to me.
think. Yeah. All the lawyers that are watching the show are going to freak out. Put it in the comments.
Yeah.
Remember,
we
IPD is not legal advice.
maybe we ask Miss Perry what we want to know from her, and then she can go on her way, and we can discuss the rest amongst ourselves. And I'll, of course, discuss payment and retainer before she
Oh,
leaves,
yeah.
but
Yeah,
that's
course.
a given.
Well, I can handle those details.
If you like, Earl, thank you very much.
We should find out too about Ferguson. If he's ran off with the retainer that, we got legal proceedings there we can pursue.
Yeah, if I could get that back, that'd be
He can't
nice.
just walk out on a client.
Yeah.
Well, that brings up a good point. Maybe we also want to see if we can gain access to his office somehow or something else to find any notes he already had on the case. I mean, might save us some trouble.
That could be a nightmare of legal work to do. We'll see.
Oh, we just
Or
act nice with the security. Who knows what
we can
happens.
do that thing where I walk in that direction while you guys don't let me see.
The mirror, she looks up. Were you needing anything? I don't want to be in the way. You guys are the professionals, and I was needing to
Yeah,
get to
give
work
us
myself.
here. I hand her a thing. Give us your all of your contact information so that
Hmm.
we can call you if we need anything.
Of course, of
And
course.
here's our cards
Yeah,
and her 6 cards.
yeah. And she got you. She runs her debit card for the retainer, or cuts you a check, whichever way this detective's office prefers. So, like, she goes, I look forward to hearing. Like I said, I just want to know, who was that? Who was the child? We might not be able to figure it out, but I think I'd sleep better if at least I knew I tried.
We'll keep you posted. Anything that there is to discover, we will. That's the Blackburn and Hartman guarantee.
Oh, the B and H. I appreciate it.
Good night, Miss Perry.
Uh, Goodbye. So she turns and walks out with her and leaves.
So Sam, what do you think?
Well, I think Troy is probably onto something. Uh, it's happened before that some babies get, they put the
So
wrong name tags in the wrong name tags with the wrong babies in the hospital, and yeah. But we'll do our due diligence and see what we can find anyway.
I'm wondering too, the baby was a year old. It would be, I mean, babies that are a year old are pretty distinctive, right? They don't just look like little pink uh, babies. Um, I don't know that it would have been that she was switched at birth. What if somebody kidnapped the child and put another child in its place, like a changeling?
You ever
Wasn't there
you
wasn't there a
reading
famous case?
look, this is like we got to talk about Occam's razor here. All right, what's the simplest explanation? That is,
Shave the baby.
you're that's just what's the
Well,
motive? Like, why steal this particular kid and why swap it with another kid? What is this, a fairy
there's
tale? Did they make a deal with the fairies or something? And they took the second born, I
yeah,
guess, in this case.
I'm not suggesting that, but I'm just thinking that there was the famous case where the woman suddenly believed that her child was no longer her child. Now that is a psychological aberration that does sometimes happen, especially postpartum. But I don't know. She would have suddenly noticed that her child wasn't her child anymore, and that's odd.
Well, we got a couple of things that unknowns. We're taking this story from her point of view, at least Miss Perry's. Now, I'll throw a couple other things in there. We probably should go see if we can find the mortuary where the child's born, maybe ask who did the internment for the body before it put away, if there was something there. But and I'm going to just throw this out here, I didn't want to say it in front of the client. What if Miss Perry actually was the one that killed the child and the mother took the rap for her? She could have went insane from two different things. One is one child killed the other, and you have a complete another mental breakdown in that sense. But I didn't want to put that forward in front of a client. She didn't know.
Of course. Yeah, sure,
Right.
that's a possibility.
I
One
would also
child
like
kills
to,
another.
because I assume, is Carter with us, Logan Carter, or not?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So postpartum depression, Logan, does it like continue on for a year or not? And you know me, I don't have any children. I'm not too familiar with all that stuff.
I mean, I think it can go on I don't think there's like a set time frame. I mean, but it's different for every mother that's struggling, and how much they struggle, how hard the childhood, could be. I mean, if it's a difficult child, that could definitely prolong things, make it a lot harder.
It, is it likely, though, that a woman will have postpartum on her second child? I mean, the first one would be overwhelming.
I think it can happen with any child.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it out of the realm, but the whole switching babies, I would think, today, I mean, I don't work in like the newborn, ward or anything, but they're pretty, they have a lot of
They put the little
safeguards. Yeah, a lot of safeguards. So
wristbands and
if there was a switch, I feel like it would have to be an intentional thing. It's very unlikely today that that's going to happen by accident. I mean, it could, but I would lean
Well,
more to it was an intentional thing.
and are we
that's
sure that this isn't a case of a half sibling? Maybe dad had a kid on the side. That's her sister that got hit in California.
he said
Miss
the
Perry
DNA
said
matched
that exactly. Go ahead.
father and mother.
Yeah, they said that. I mean,
Yeah,
Well,
unless
remember,
the brother of the father or something did, had a child with the mother, but Occam's razor probably seems like a
look,
very slim
all I'm
chance.
saying is that what's more likely? Dad had a kid on the side that got hit in California, or somebody's been kidnapped and they've swapping babies.
Well, the swapping babies, maybe the hospital isn't following protocol. It might be some small hospital out of the way that's still stuck in the old ways, that's not doing things properly.
but Sam, you did introduce something that's a possibility. Now, we don't know if Mr. Perry had siblings himself. If, for instance, he had a brother and his wife cheated on him with the brother, then the DNA would still look like it was the two, because two brothers have virtually the same DNA, at least the way those
Yeah.
services. So it
Yeah,
could have been
that
another person in the family. There could have been another child, except that she was the one that would have gotten pregnant. She
Well, we
couldn't
also don't
exactly
know. We
hide it.
also don't know. We don't know the age of this Jane Doe now, do we? Is that something that was confirmed?
No, I don't
It's
know how
about,
you would confirm
Be-
it.
I
Well,
If
thought they
because
said they were about,
let's think of it this way, right? Mira Perry thinks that she was their first kid, right?
yeah.
What if mommy and daddy had a kid before her, gave her up for adoption,
that's true.
and
that's
then
also a good
with
one.
Mira, right? Like there are ways in which this makes sense, and then there are ways where little gremlins or something are swapping out children.
So
Yeah. So that
on
answers a lot of that, but it doesn't get us any closer to like what baby got smothered, or if that's even
on
relevant. I mean,
the
how much?
It could still be their third kid that got
Yeah.
smothered, you know? Like I
Yeah.
don't
on the sheet that I gave Mira to fill out, uh, it would have had birthday and
Yep.
year born and all that. So how old is Mira? She looks like she's in her 20s, but
She's 27.
okay. So the woman who was killed, if she was 9 years younger, would have had to have been 19, 18,
18, 19.
Mhm.
or would have had to have been older than that, in her 30s. So, yeah,
I
let's
think
find
that age
out.
is going to tell us a lot. That's going to be a good starting point is how old was the Jane Doe.
And I don't know
uh,
how, if they can, I guess they can
I
determine that.
don't think it's an exact science. I don't think there's a way to accurately determine someone's age from just their body.
You cut them in half and the
Count the rings.
rings.
Yeah.
Count the rings.
You,
Yeah.
you can also you can pinpoint kind of decades because like
There's
the
body
joint,
changes that take
yeah,
place.
the bones and stuff. Some of those they do change throughout time.
She
Okay.
would have
Yeah, okay,
just
because
gone through, if not still going through puberty, late
yeah, I guess
puberty.
like at that age you could probably tell. I want to research if Mr. and Mrs. Perry, the parents, had any brothers or sisters themselves. I mean, it's a small chance, but
Okay, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
No,
Okay,
yep.
yeah,
she's
yeah.
paying us decent money that I have to split among 6 people. So
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. Um, uh, give me a library use for And how I use in modern games, I use library use for like Google searches, computer uses for like trying to get into places that dark web, those kind of things. So
We're getting
All
paid
right, give me
1920s wages.
yeah.
Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Totally forgot that that I have to have dice here. All right, let's go. 76. That's definitely fail. I don't even need to look at my sheet.
Okay, yeah. You type in the name. There's a very large Italian Catholic population in the middle of Nebraska, and so you get a lot of parries. And what essentially is you're not able to narrow down. Okay, which one is the ones I'm interested in? So, okay.
Roy himself is actually a believer in the paranormal. So even though the more mundane explanations seem reasonable, he does actually believe a little bit in the possibility of it being a changeling or other gremlins, as it was mentioned, or goblins. So that's another thing I would like to search online. If there were, at the same period, were there any paranormal reports about changelings and weird things happening to small children?
Okay. I will let you pick on this one. You can either get a hard computer use or a regular library use on that one.
Oh, if I can choose the hard computer use, definitely.
Okay.
And that's a 75, so no.
No. Yeah. You find your typical thing, weird websites about changelings and all, but nothing that you're able to kind of go, okay, yeah, this is narrowed it down. Okay. Right?
So, Samuel, in our research, would we consider actually a body exhumation, possibly doing a DNA track from that side, see if the actual matches? We'd obviously have to get the client's permission, but this is something that might be put an end to the searching
Exhumation of, I'm sorry.
of the
I
baby.
was just going to say the mortation would have already taken DNA samples. That's how they found her. So I don't know what
No,
digging
not
up
of
the
her,
body.
of the baby,
Oh,
the one from
that's
that's buried here, should be buried here.
It's,
that's from a long time ago.
I mean, it sounds like a good idea.
You can
It will
still
keep Lark busy for quite a while, I
Yeah,
think.
I'll look into the legality of it.
fair enough.
That's a good one.
That'd be
Yeah.
a law. That'd be a law roll if you're wanting to look into that one, Vander.
Yeah. These things are all taking place over the night, so.
Yeah.
I got a 73 out of 75. So just
Okay.
there it is.
You would need to get a judge to court order it and all. But with that pass, you think you could probably come up with a good enough argument but it would take a while to go through the wickets
Yeah.
and everything.
And there's nobody that
And
would have
it's
checked that I can think
yeah.
of, but
Yeah, and it'd be
except the mother.
expensive. It'd be expensive to dig it up too.
Yeah.
We'll have to ask Mira if she is up for paying it. I mean, if we do it ourselves, we don't, we won't keep any money. We won't
There
have
might
any
not be
money left
anything
after the
left.
case. Yeah.
There might not be anything left to test.
I mean, 16 years, like, I think Logan should, maybe Logan knows with his medical background, but I think after 16 years, it's mostly bones.
Well, do they take all the blood out of the baby when they bury babies? Or I don't know, but you need blood.
What kind of funerals are you going to?
Well, no, the
you don't need
mortician drains the blood into the
Yeah.
sink. And They
Such a
purified
small.
with
He's
formaldehyde.
actually going to funerals where somebody steals the corpse and they swap the corpse with another corpse. I think
I
I'm
mean,
just.
that's how this all works, right?
I think it would be dust by now anyway.
we
So
also don't know that. I mean, they may have cremated. Did we know that this baby was buried?
Right. Mary did
Okay.
say that,
Oh, okay.
that they
Gotcha.
buried the child.
I'd be surprised though that they didn't cremate the body of the sister that they supposedly found if she was a Jane Doe. But maybe I guess not. Maybe they're doing something different over there. Yeah, well, I'll get on all the legal stuff, see what we can clear through.
All right.
That takes a while.
Oh, yeah.
Filling out forms.
Yeah. Right. Well, it will be up to you where you would like to go, or if you want to speculate some more, see if you can come up with some other ideas for things to check out.
Did Mira come in the afternoon or evening or in the
It was the
morning?
morning. It was the morning
Okay.
when she came by.
So we have all day to still do
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. You got some time. We'll say like Troy doing his research on the computer, you kind of doing some more. It's probably getting, afternoon by the time all that kind of.
Okay. Yeah. I go over to county and I go to the Hall of Records and I gather up in a big manila envelope all of the information to bring back.
I think for lunch, I'm going to go to the Subway in that same strip mall where our good friend Ferguson's office is.
Yeah. They don't
Okay.
usually have avocado for the sandwiches, which is kind of sucky, but
Not a lot of options around here, and it also
Yeah.
seems like a good opportunity to check in on that our dearest of business competitors.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
not
not.
likely that Sean would have run out. I mean, he's had that business for
I know he's
like
I mean, he's a
6
fucking
years.
professional. Whatever you want to say about him.
I'm not doing a lot. Meatball sub sounds good. So
Right. All right. So we got Logan and Earl going to the strip mall to get a sandwich and to swing by Ferguson's office.
yeah, poke our head in.
Yeah. How about the others?
I want to see if I can get a appointment with Mrs. Perry, so the mother. Do we have a first name of her?
Yeah, because you guys looked up the court case and everything. Wendy Perry.
Wendy. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. That's a bit easier.
And I'm going to accompany Samuel on that one.
Okay. All right. And Troy and Vander.
Well, I'm like I say, I'm going to county to
You're
get all
doing all
this
the legal
paperwork.
stuff. Yeah.
That would take me all day. Troy
How
can
about
come
you?
with me, but it's going to be boring as hell.
Yeah. How about you, Troy? What you gonna do?
I will continue my online searches.
Okay. All right. So-
And if anybody else has other things to search, basically I gather all the requests with the other gentlemen are out and about. I will continue my.
all right.
As
Okay. So
we gain information, we'll send it all to Troy to coordinate.
Mhm.
Yeah, we all have a group chat where we can post our findings and
I do ask Troy if he can find me a coupon on a foot-long meatball sub from Subway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, before you arrive there, you already have some coupons to use.
Yeah. All right, so Troy, what are you looking for now online?
More detailed information on the Perry family.
Okay.
About
Sure.
the father, the mother, basically, if there were any notices, if there were any newspaper clippings that would have been digitized, available.
Okay. Yeah. Give me a library use. I'll give you a bonus die on
I need that because my
that.
library is, and that's a 14, so that's a regular success.
Nice. Yeah. You go through there, and they were a good Catholic family, so there was several siblings on both sides, You imagine they probably would have had a lot of children also if the tragedy hadn't struck. Maybe they were having difficulty conceiving, is why it took 9 years. But one thing you do find is the birth announcement for Maxine. So it mentions that you know she was born on there it is March 12th of 2006, and she was born in St. Mary's Hospital there in Lincoln, Nebraska. St. Mary's Hospital, that is the county hospital, so essentially it's the public hospital in the for the city, and so it's where people would go if they had maybe not the best insurance or no insurance to pay for the delivery.
Would that also be where I work as a nurse? Probably.
That sounds like a luck roll.
Okay.
St. Mary's?
Yep.
Okay.
And what was the day exactly of her birth again? Sorry.
Her birth was March 12th, 2006. 2006. So a little over 17 years ago.
Like Schrodinger's hospital. Because until he rolled the dice, Logan didn't know which hospital he worked.
Didn't know where it is. Do you have practicing privileges at St. Mary's there, Logan? How'd that roll go?
Oh, sorry. What would you tell me to roll? Sorry.
Oh, yeah, I was like, you ask if you
Yeah.
so I was like, luck. We'll just see if it's
Okay.
luck.
Yeah, that's a 56 out of 70. Yeah, I
Yeah,
passed.
yeah. You work there. Since you're not like maybe a full-time employee of it, you're more of like the nurses that kind of have privileges through all the hospitals. You fill in when people need vacations and all. So
Yeah.
but yes, you have worked there and you have privileges at that hospital.
Okay.
And you know that with that, kind of what like Troy found out. It's definitely the public assistance hospital essentially.
Yeah.
Mhm. All right. Sam and Dylan, I can't remember where you guys were going. The
We're
detective.
going to make arrangements to visit the mother to do.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So,
I get you
so
the court
the
papers you need.
yep. Yeah, the state penitentiary is about 30 miles outside of town. And if Vander gets the paperwork and all, he'll be able to go visit her on tomorrow. Yep, you can set up a visiting hours to go see her and stuff. She
Right.
doesn't have a lawyer. She's exhausted her appeals, and so she's just serving her life sentence. Right. All right, Logan and Earl. So you guys get to the strip mall downtown. Subway's there, just like Earl promised it would be. But you see, there's Detective Ferguson's office. It's got like a plate glass window. And it says, Ferguson, private eye for all your needs, and the lights are out. Yeah.
Well, I'm taking a bite of my sandwich. Doesn't look like anyone's home.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like he should be operating at this time unless he was away from lunch, which he usually hangs a sign when he's away from lunch. So kind of put my hands up, look in.
Okay. But when you look in, you see in there it's a smaller it's a smaller office. You see he's got his desk, a file cabinet, there's a closet door in there, and then there's another door, but you know that goes into like the back hallways of the strip mall to go to the community toilet.
Okay. So is it I don't know. Would I be able to gauge if someone's been there in a little bit? Like, does it look like it's been cleaned any? Is there like a trash can that's kind of still got trash in it? Or
Well, because you're kind of looking into the dark, trying to. That's how. Give me a spot hidden on that one.
cat? Oh, that's a 97. That's not going to be a pass at all.
Yeah, maybe the sun's just hitting that plate glass just right that you can't
I
get a
realize
good
I have my
great.
meatball sub in my hand and I'm squishing it against the
Yeah,
glass.
smash it against the window.
It's not very professional of you, Carter.
Nah, no, I'm not a detective though. I'm just a nurse. I don't think about meatballs against glass. And
Yeah. So how often are you contracted by old Blackburn and Stack, huh?
just every once in a while when they have like medical questions, stuff like that. I think they think a little higher of me than maybe they should, but I will take the money.
Yeah, that you do, that you do. Yeah, I mean, tax when it's not tax season, it gets pretty boring. So,
Yeah.
always glad when they want another pair of eye on things. So, where do you think Cole Ferguson's gone off to? Huh? Think he went out to California?
Maybe. I mean, yeah, he could just be out there chasing down leads there. I mean, that would make sense. I mean, if he exhausted everything here, but not answering his phone is, I guess, the weird thing. Doesn't seem like the take the money and run kind of guy.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to end up. Some of us are going to end up going back out there.
Yeah,
I say back. We'll go out there.
yeah.
Um,
Been a bit since I've been to
Strange.
California, so
Does Ferguson have any known associates?
Yeah, yeah. Say he's got you know, people that he would contact and when he needs some outside help on things that
Would I know any of them?
uh give me a luck roll. If you fail, you know that Sam and Dylan would because they're brother Seamuses.
Okay, first let me roll to see how much luck I have.
Ah, yes, yes.
Ooh, not a lot. That's rough. Um, Not a lucky man, Earl Tinman. Um, oh, two though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The person he's got a pawn store guy that he goes to because a lot of times it's like tracing down lost jewelry that someone that a boyfriend took from it, or a lot of private eyes is dealing with heartbreak.
Cool. Well, what about taking a long lunch hour, Logan? You want to go over to this pawnbroker?
well, I'm off today, and this meatball sub's about the only thing that I got going. So yeah, I'm down.
Well, I think you're very much on today, just not your main gig,
Yeah, oh,
right?
yeah, yeah, that's true.
What are Blackburn and Stack not paying you for?
I think that
But
question lingers in the air.
Right. Okay. Okay. The other four, well, they're going to head over to the pawn shop where you wanted to do anything. The detectives, you're kind of your line you're going to, you're kind of on hold until tomorrow to be able to talk to Wendy and stuff. So
I also kind of imagine that I've got other things that I'm working on as well
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah,
other people. So
yeah. That makes
yeah.
sense. Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I cannot think of anything to do else today, so I don't know, maybe find some typical leads, but we don't have to play it out or anything.
Okay.
We
That sounds
might be
good.
able to we might be able to locate Seamus, Ferguson's home address and shoot that over to Earl and Logan.
Yeah. Yeah. Troy could
Yeah,
probably pull that out for
yeah.
you.
If any of the news have been reported to me on the group chat, then definitely I
Yeah.
would I would throw it into the system, as well as if whatever I found, I reported back to the rest of the team.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
since Troy has nothing else going in his life, literally, he's a keyboard
Oh.
warrior, then
Troy, you can do some background check. You can see if Ferguson purchased airplane tickets or anything like that, and he's run out, or if he's still here somewhere.
yeah, like if in his social media he has pictures from a tropical country from yesterday or something like this.
Right. All right. That sounds like a computer use.
And that's a critical success.
Oh, nice.
Oh, sorry,
Uh,
extreme success.
extreme success.
Yeah,
Excellent.
extreme
That's still
success.
good. So you're able to find his social media, his address without any issue. He lives in an apartment in downtown. Social media, there has not been any activity on it for 3 weeks. Maybe about 2.5 weeks, actually. So what is that? About 17 days was the last time something was posted. It was, you know, talking about he was going to try out a new restaurant there in Lincoln and stuff. When you do with an extreme, you were able to you were able to get into maybe some of like the airline records. You didn't find anything on him boarding a plane or anything. So
I report on this information to the team, so
all
they're
right.
updated.
I wonder if something
I'll
happened to
open.
him.
Yeah, I'm starting to think so. I'll open up his socials and how regularly, how often did he post before that? Like, is it once every day, once a week, once every few months?
No, about once and a half, every 2 days. Sometimes he post
Okay,
back to back days, other days he take some time off and stuff. Some of
okay,
the
so
posts
this is
are the
definitely
yeah, yeah,
out. This is definitely out of the ordinary. It's not like he only posts every few months. Okay,
exactly.
clear.
Yeah, yeah. Right. All right. So Logan and Earl, you guys make it to Lincoln's pawn shop. It's a college town, so of course there's uh, quite a lot of pawn shops around as college students try and make ends meet or get beer money. And so when you come in, you see Mark, the pawnbroker. He's there. He looks up at you and he smiles. He's like, "Oh, good to see you again."
Hey, how's the biz?
Oh, it's going well. Always does better now that football season started.
I
People think the Huskers are going to be better
I
than they
bet
are.
I look forward to seeing your numbers come tax season again. Um,
Mhm.
listen, I know that you're pretty good buddies with Sean Ferguson, aren't you?
Yeah. We go out and have a beer every once in a while.
Yeah, you seen him lately?
I haven't. No, last I saw him was about 3 weeks ago. He was just finishing up on a case, and the client didn't have enough cash in the bank, so she gave him a ring, and he brought it in here and hawked it, to get the money and stuff. Yeah, we were supposed to go to the opening season game, but I didn't hear from him. I just figured he was busy.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, just it's funny. PI business is a really weird thing, right? Like
Yeah,
I do subcontractor work with Blackburn and Stack when things are slow. Uh, people aren't filing their taxes in September. Um, but it's in a weird turn of events. It seems that part of their current job is in a sense to find Ferguson.
really.
Yeah.
Hmm.
one of his clients actually came to us saying that they haven't heard from him.
That's not like Sean.
Well, like, yeah, he's a professional. That's what we thought. So we just wanted to see if you seen him around, or because it seems like it's PIs are tracking down a PI. Super weird.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. It'd be
If you
like me
hear
going
from
to
him,
another pawn shop, but no, that doesn't. No, but no, I haven't seen anybody. You're right. Yeah, he gets out his cell phone. He dials it, and he goes went immediately to his messages
voicemail, huh?
voicemail. Yeah.
Well, hmm, thanks for checking though.
Yeah,
Appreciate
no
it.
problem. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Well, I'll take a look and see like, I see you still haven't managed to sell that watch, huh?
No, no, I never should have bought that. He said he got this Rolex in Turkey. I'm starting to think it ain't real.
Yeah, well, write it off as a loss. We'll talk about it. All right.
Okay. All right. So we'll say, unless you were wanting to go somewhere else, you guys kind of pass out your messages through your app and all, and and you if you wanted to, you can meet back up, about late afternoon, evening time.
I sent Ferguson's home address, or Troy did. Did we want to go by there and check?
Maybe we
I
can go
mean, no
by.
harm in just checking in.
Yeah, it
Go
seems,
ahead.
Do
seems
any
like
of us
he's.
know if our dear Ferguson is married, like from his social media or anything?
He is not.
No
Yeah,
children or
Troy.
anything.
No.
I'm almost afraid to find that his car is still there, in which case he's either sick in bed or he's permanently in bed.
These
If we
theories
go,
that you keep coming up with, I'm fascinated. I, for one, think he's in California, but
But
let's go.
Troy
Well,
couldn't.
Logan and I will stop by if everybody else is busy on our.
Yep.
Maybe stop for some ice cream if Logan's been a really good boy.
Oh, I think I've been. I think I've been all right. I'm not too full off the meatball sub. Everybody's got the second dessert stomach. So
there's some nice coupons for a sundae or a
as
banana
they
split.
say, I do hit up Troy for a Sunday coupon.
Okay.
But yeah,
Well,
on our way
if
there,
we
we can swing by. I mean, if it's close to Sean's place, just get the state of things.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, he had an apartment down in downtown. Downtown's pretty small. Lincoln's downtown. I mean, it's a decent sized city, but it's not too bad. Yeah. Oh.
So if is his car like, well, I get probably one of us at least would reckon. I mean, or
Hmm.
probably know what he drives.
Yeah.
So as we go by the complex,
The apartment complex.
yeah,
Uh, you don't see his vehicle. No.
yeah, I'm thinking he may have. I mean, may have drove to California. Maybe I don't know.
I mean, either his car's in California or it's at the airport.
Yeah, that's true.
No, yeah. Unless he ditched his car somewhere and walked to California
Hmm.
or walked to the airport. Or maybe he came home to discover that somebody has swapped his car out with an identical car.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's could
We should
be
have
it.
sent somebody over there with lock picking skills.
Could have just
yeah we
That's
swapping
the
out
lawyer.
everything.
we could break into his office, or otherwise, Troy could prepare like a spoof email to the management company of the mall that we need to gain access for whatever reason.
I don't know why we would want to get mixed up in anything with that. For all we know, he's just in California.
I mean,
Jason
I wouldn't
Lee.
say break in. I would say more of a health check that we're concerned something's happened to him and we're just checking if he's all right. I think Vander would prefer it that way.
Yeah, we could swing it that way.
I mean,
Well, if I had to rate my lockpicking skills on a scale from 1 to 100, I have 1 whole percentage point in lockpicking.
Some of us are
Same
better
here.
than others. Got to get the detectives. They're the ones who know how to pick locks.
I have 1, but mechanical repair is 10. So,
There you go. There you go. All right.
These Sundays
One
are
and
really good. Maybe y'all should come down and have one with us. I think we have more coupons.
Yeah.
Yes,
All
we
right.
do.
Okay. So, were you guys gonna do a welfare check on either his apartment or his place of business?
doesn't Dylan, you have some expertise in this area, right? Opening some doors.
It looks like I have some locksmith experience, so yeah, I think I could probably might be able to work something.
Okay. Which one do you want to go to?
Uh, Sam, you have a preference? Do you want to go by the office? It might have paperwork and stuff that he's filed, or do you want to try to go to the apartment?
The mall probably has surveillance.
Yeah, I think the house is a better idea.
Fair enough.
Plus, if we're swinging it like we're worried about his health, he will not be sleeping in his office. So if something's happened to him, he'll be at home. So I think that's the best for the.
Okay. All right. So you get to the apartment. It is one of those buildings that you have to have a key fob to get into
Oh,
the
boy.
building.
So that's a key fob. That we would have to try to see if we can freight train behind somebody, more than likely, because those locks, there's no other way to get into those that I know of unless you can clone a key. And I don't have that ability.
Well, if I need to go into the field, that's a possibility. I have some hobby skills in electronics. So I could electric repair and electronics. So
Yep.
yes.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You build a scanner that would run through all the codes.
I probably already have one. Just,
Yeah.
getting out there and it's a good.
Okay. All right. So we'll say because you kind of talked about it. I'd buy it. I'll say you have like a little scanner that just kind of it's just a series of ones and zeros, and you can just kind of there, and eventually you'll hit it, and it scans through it quickly. Not like it's a super complex code for it. And you hear the lock release on the outer door of the building.
All right. Do we know what apartment he's in? So we go to his door that's in.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And,
Yeah, we'll say you do.
Head on up. And are we encountering another lock, the same type, or is it?
This one. No, this one is an actual keyed lock.
Okay. Sam, you better at locksmith type stuff than I am, or am I? I don't know who's better.
Judging by our previous cases, I would leave it to you.
Okay. So I guess I'm going to try to Jimmy the lock.
Okay.
That would be under locksmith.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see what we get.
I'll make you locksmith to somebody.
We got an epic fail.
Okay.
Oof.
Yeah. You kind of in there, and like your little pick, it kind of snaps inside the lock.
Oh man. Maybe we could revert back to the welfare check thing. See if we can get the super to open the door.
Sounds like a good idea. He'll
What's your?
probably be wondering why we didn't go to him directly.
We don't
But
have to tell
maybe
him
we don't.
we
Yeah.
try to get in the lock. Just say, hey, we're checking on our friend.
Well,
Okay.
it sounds like you know what you're doing, so
I
I'll
have a
follow
little.
your lead.
I'm
All
not the
right.
best persuader,
Okay.
to be honest.
All right, but
If we're all in general in contact
yeah,
via
yeah,
phone or
you got.
whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I can put something legal and send it to the super so that you
Yeah.
guys can give it to him.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. Okay. So, Vander, you kind of get that typed up there.
I got a
Okay.
002
Oh,
on law, so
it
yeah.
looks it's really good. It's actually correct too. You know, it's all the correct terms and all. And of course, it's for a layperson reading it. He's like, I don't know what half these words mean, but okay. All right. So you get that, and the property manager goes like, okay, yeah. Like, let's go check. So he goes up there. He knocks on the door. You know, there's no answer. He knocks one more time. Then he goes to open it, and he's like going like, oh, maybe we should get the police. It looks like someone tried to pick his lock.
Something must have really happened to him.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like going, you guys are detectives, right? You know how to handle yourself.
yeah,
Yeah, we
yeah. We're worried about a dear colleague of ours, so
Okay, yeah.
he was
Oh,
working on some odd case. Something might have happened to him, so I think we.
okay, all right. So he unlocks it and he opens it up and he kind of hops out of the way because he's like a little nervous that maybe someone came in there. It's a nicer building, so he's not like, used to dealing with troublesome people. So he hops out of the way, and then you look in there and the lights are out in the apartment.
right. I'll go first. See if I can kind of start to feel my way in there and see if I can find a
Yeah.
light switch or something to turn the
Oh
light on.
yeah. I mean,
All right. And what do I see?
so it goes down to a hallway. Looks like it's probably a one bedroom apartment, and in his living room, it looks like he's got another little home office for like if he wants to work on stuff when he's not, in his office proper and stuff.
Okay. I'll kind of look around there a little bit. Sam, you want to go check the bedroom? See if.
Yeah,
Mhm.
sure.
Okay. Yeah. The super once you go in there, you go into the bedroom. He doesn't hear any like violence. He feels a little bit better about himself. He comes in because he's like, well, you understand, I have to be here. You can't.
Oh no, you. I fully understand.
Okay. All right.
Anything in the
But
bedroom?
In the bedroom, is a well-made bed. It looks like he was reading an Anne Rice book that was on his bedstand there. But yeah, bed is made. Looks like he was a pretty meticulous person.
So, okay. I look back at the super and I say, I noticed that you had electronic key locks in order to get in and out of the main door. Do you have records of the key usage by, I forget his name off the top of my head.
Yeah.
John.
Uh, uh, we're not that fancy. We just have it so the people on the street can't just open up the door
Door.
and
So
all.
no logs.
No. Mhm.
Anything on the table that we can kind of see that might be related to the case?
Yeah, as you look at it, you see there's a folder there, and on it it has Mira's name on like a little sticky that They put it on there.
Okay.
And there's also a laptop sitting on the desk also.
That's what I would actually post on our group chat if I was informed that they are getting in, to grab any phones or laptops, if it's possible, of course. If the
Oh, I
field
sent
team would be
this
able to
for
snatch it.
that, hey, we're kind of trying to find our friend here. We haven't seen him in quite a while, and he was actually working on something that we had interest in. We need to borrow these for a little bit. If you need to make a record of it, that's fine, but we need to borrow this for a little bit to see if we can find out what happened to our friend.
Okay, give me a fast talk or a persuade.
Let's see what I got for. I think I have the first. Oh, there it is. Oh, I better do persuade.
Hmm.
And another epic fail.
It's like I can't really have you taking stuff out of here. I mean, someone was trying to pick the lock and all.
Well, you know
But
who we
you don't
are.
mind if we take a picture or two of it, right?
Yeah, I guess that'd be okay.
I'll take pictures and send them directly to the group chat.
Okay, so you see in there, one of the first things you see is this handwritten note that Sean has. I'll bring it up here for you.
So,
Okay.
how does St. Mary's make money? So that's the first question. Must have an accountant look at the financial documents. So we have one of those. Jeremy Thompson is the weak point. Um, Follow on from meeting with Jeremy. Where do the bodies go? And mausoleum can't hold them all. All right. And that was a picture, right? So we were able to push that to the group chat.
Yep.
All right.
Hmm.
So everybody can see it.
Oh, what on earth is he talking about?
St. Mary's is where the Maxine was born.
Yeah, it's a community hospital.
It's where Logan works, right?
He does
Yes.
have
Yeah.
privileges there.
Yep.
Mhm.
Is there something going on that Sean might have run into? That this is pretty sinister sounding shit.
I mean, the hospital seems normal to me, as far as I can tell. I mean, so I don't know what any of this is about.
Hmm.
And who is this Jeremy Thompson?
Give me a
You
no
tell us,
roll
Troy.
there, Logan.
Okay. No, is that,
That's
yeah,
your
education.
education. Yeah.
Okay.
Troy should be able to find something. He's got a
Uh,
name.
I will spend, can I spend 8 luck on that to succeed?
You certainly can.
Okay. I got, yeah, I succeed now. I wrote a
Okay.
78, so out of
All right.
70.
So you know that Jeremy Thompson, he has worked at the hospital a long time. He's the accountant of the hospital.
Yeah, I think he's the accountant. He's been there for a long time. I recognize the name probably from, you know, getting paychecks from there or something. I don't deal with him directly.
An accountant sounds like a decent fellow. We'll have to talk to him. We'll converse in our secret language of VBA,
Is this?
Oh,
as all
I
three
mean,
people laugh at that joke.
just off
yeah.
the top of my head, looking at this, is it implying? And Earl, don't freak out when I say it out loud, but is it implying that St. Mary's is selling bodies to someone? You know, people that die in the county, they usually get cremated, don't they? That's the cheapest way.
Who and for what would need bodies nowadays? For
And pay for
organs.
them. Yeah, this
Uh,
isn't like 1800s.
And back then it was the hospital or doctors buying the bodies, not selling the bodies. So
Maybe they're selling the bodies to the gremlins that swap the babies out.
Oh, here he goes.
that is possible. That is possible.
The body swapping service.
Yeah, this is at the funerals I talked about earlier, where they do a little switcheroo.
Jeremy Thompson, he's implying that the accountant there is the weak point. He's poked the bear, and the weak point is Jeremy getting information out of him.
Well, little did he know, the
Well-
real weak point is Logan. We've got insider information into the hospital right here.
Where's
Maybe
the
he
bodies?
poked the bear. Maybe he poked the bear a little too hard because he's been.
He poked
He
the
is-
bear of St. Mary's Hospital and they offed him? Is that what we're implying?
But
We don't know, but something's happened to him. He's not been seen for 2.5 weeks. He's not
Yeah.
posting on his socials. I haven't seen any food
Okay, who
pictures
wants
of
to-
him for a
Who
while.
wants to take
So
the
the-
bet up with me that he's in California following up?
But
on
Troy
the case.
couldn't find any plane tickets, and
But
Troy
where is
is.
Troy gonna find plane tickets? They're gonna hack into his email account and find his Delta email confirmation. Where's
I
he
mean,
looking for?
I would trust Troy with getting into the Pentagon if he needed to. So I trust his judgment on this.
But okay, the first part of that is the notes that he took before he met Jeremy. The second part is after he met Jeremy, and his questions are, where do the bodies go? So Jeremy told him that bodies were going missing and that the mausoleum can't hold them all. So if you were told that, what would your next step be in an investigation? You'd probably investigate the hospital. And that's the point where he disappeared.
But is this a relevant case?
Well, it might be.
I'm trying to.
I don't know. You're right. I mean,
The hospital
we're
selling
still trying
bodies.
to-
What does it have to do with the young woman getting
Yeah,
killed on the highway in California?
I'm in the same place. We've come from investigating what happened to somebody's sister, maybe, to now we're following up on another private detective.
It's only because
But-
Seamus was, not Seamus, Ferguson was already involved with Miss Perry.
What this
And
this
he
note
was
is inside
investigating.
her folder, so it's obviously he felt that was a relationship.
We're hoping
Yeah, and-
that by following what he was doing, that we'll find out what he knew before for her.
Okay.
He was
get it.
obviously following the same route that we're starting to follow. We're going towards Mary's hospital, and
Yeah, it just, I mean, I work there and this feels like, I don't know.
I mean,
It
Yeah,
seems,
maybe
I don't know that
Logan.
they
Maybe
could-
Logan was assigned to do the hit, and he's just not telling us.
how
They
many?
send it down the chain. Send one of the line nurses go take care of business.
It seems a little above the operating, level of the hospital.
How big is the hospital? How many people work there? Like hundreds, thousands?
Not thousands, but probably close to 100.
it's county,
So
so,
you
they're not
will-
high paid, and they're.
I mean, I only
Yeah.
work there part-time, so it's,
Yeah.
they're
We're a
not-
lot
You
of the
think
So
you
you
time.
could-
do,
Yeah.
Talk to this Jeremy Thompson.
I mean, I could find his office probably. I don't think I've ever dealt with him in person before. I mean, I could get us in the door, maybe say my paycheck's wrong.
Earl, do you think that you could look into the hospital's finances? I don't know. Do we want to pursue
Well,
this?
all I could say, and I say all I could say, I could say this is a brilliant lie for someone who only has 5% fast talk. So this will go very wrong, but this is a very brilliant idea. I could go to this Jeremy Thompson and just say, "Hi, I'm Earl Tinman. I was hired by, I was contracted by Mr. Ferguson to look at those financial documents that you talked about." to try
Get on
that.
a plane to go to California. I don't know
And
what-
then St. Mary's will have Meek murdered. It'll be a real tragedy.
or changed with some sort of changeling.
Yeah, they'll swap me out for another accountant. You'll never know.
I think that we're letting our investigative personalities take over because Miss Perry only hired us to try to figure out why that woman is supposedly her sister.
Well, her sister was born in that hospital. Granted, it was like, what is it, 17, 18 years ago, but I think there might be something interesting there. Although finding out where do the bodies go and everything like that, that doesn't seem very pertinent to our case,
I
from
mean,
what we know.
if somebody has to do it, I'll fall on the sword. I volunteer to fly out to California.
Let's see what
Very
happens.
noble.
You guys go visit the woman in the prison tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because she might know a lot more than she's told other people.
If
Yeah,
we
like how
believe,
she had a
let's
kid
see what she
earlier and
says
gave it up
first.
for adoption, and now they got ran over in California.
Then we
Because
have an
she
answer,
also
we'd be done.
she said the kid wasn't human, so I would not trust. I would be skeptical about things she says, but I think it's still a good, we have to do our due diligence, check out what she
If
thinks
she
she
sticks
knows.
to that, ask her when she knew that it wasn't her child.
Because it took a year for her to make, if she was, and it was not the sister to smother the child, but if the mother did it, it took like a year before she did it. So that's a good one. That's a good
It still sounds
line.
very much like postpartum. She cracked or whatever, but
Let's just see what she says, and we'll go from there.
All right. So you guys gonna call it an evening and
yeah.
okay. All right.
Well, I would like actually to do more online research.
Okay.
Um,
Let's
if it's possible,
Oh, yeah.
about Mr. Thompson,
Mm-hmm.
if there is anything about him, and about the hospital finances.
Okay.
They
Excellent.
probably won't be posting anything much online, but if there are any documents that I can prepare for Earl, for him to go through them and have a general idea before we storm the place.
Okay. All
Dive
right.
down into
Yeah.
the deep web and then into the dark web.
Yeah. Hey, give me a computer use.
And that's a 93, so no, a fail.
You're tired. You're tired. Okay. You can always push it.
I get myself a few energy drinks and
Okay.
go for an all-nighter.
Yeah, if you fail, you like you say you're going to pull an all nighter. So a lot of your die rolls the next day will be with penalties because you're like as your body start to go, man.
Mhm.
All right,
Well, let's hope it's worth it. And that's a regular success.
okay, all right. So looking into those things there, you find a few things online mentioning Jeremy and St. Mary's and finances. So, one of the first things you find is from an article from the 60s, where St. Mary's signed a contract with the state of Nebraska to provide medical care to the state penitentiaries. And you, in the about the mid 80s, you find an article where it talks about St. St. Mary's Community Hospital in financial trouble. The Jeremy Thompson, there's an interview with him where he's worried that if they can't renegotiate the contract with the state, that they'll have to close the hospital. Then you find another one where in 1997 it says Jeremy Thompson's getting an award from the accounting union here in the accounting guild here in Nebraska, for his financial genius of being able to save the hospital and actually start turning a profit through.
So either he is a genius, or there is something really dodgy going on over there. He could be the head of a clan of men-eating gremlins.
There you go. Occam's razor.
Mm-hmm. Nice. But you guys go to bed and get your rest. Troy, you of course went to bed much later because you were up on the computer drinking your Red Bulls and all. So the September 6th arrives. You guys are up in there, and I know Sam and Dylan, you guys are going to the women's state penitentiary. They are two
I'll
separate
accompany them
things. Okay, yeah,
because I'm a lawyer.
sounds excellent. And Logan and Earl, what were you wanting to do?
I feel like I'm feeling a little a little sick, Logan. Maybe you should go visit your hospital of yours.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
I got a
And then-
paycheck to
and-
dispute.
And Troy, you'll get up a little bit later, but was there something you wanted to do today while the others are doing that?
I was wondering also about the mausoleum, but that's too general to search for anything.
That'd be a hard search.
But I could visit, like a lazy morning or lazy afternoon, visit the paranormal boards if there are any reports about strange things going in the cemeteries or something like this.
Okay. All right.
Reach out to the spooky guys.
Okay. I will come back to that. Okay. First, we'll go into the state penitentiary. So you roll up there. It's of course kind of out in the middle of nowhere because of NIMBY, not in my backyard philosophy. So the prisons are always kind of built far away. When you get checked in, they bring you into the classic, got the wall of phones with the little kind of cubicles and stuff. And you come around and you see a woman sitting there. You recognize the resemblance to Mira, but she obviously looks much older, and she spent almost 2 decades in a prison. So it looks at probably even older than her age and all. But she's sitting there. When you come in, she kind of looks at you. She obviously doesn't recognize you, and then she picks up the telephone receiver on her side of the glass. She goes, yes, I was informed that you were wanting to speak with me. I heard you had a lawyer and all. I thought I had exhausted all my appeals.
Well, hello, Wendy Perry. I'm Samuel Blackburn, Sam. This is my colleague, Dylan Stack, and our lawyer, Vander Lark, Esquire. Well, you were put away for you were put here for murdering your child, to say it bluntly.
Not my child. It was not my child.
Okay, because that's what we wanted to ask you. We've had your daughter contact us that your other child was struck by a car and hit and died on the highway in California. About 8 months ago, somewhere in January.
What?
We were wondering about what happened
No,
all those years ago.
No, go back. You said my child was struck, not Mira.
Not Mira. Maxine. They
Maxine?
did genealogical research on.
I knew it. I knew it wasn't her. I knew it.
Yeah.
Oh, and she
So
starts
if
getting quite excited, like she's like finally someone's going to listen to me. It wasn't my child. It wasn't even human. I'm telling you, it wasn't my child. This is the proof.
Ma'am, I understand your excitement, but could you if calm down, and if we get the facts right, maybe this could definitely help you in your
Mm.
position. But we need to know everything you know.
Oh,
Did you have a
well,
question, Vander?
of course, of course.
When did you first realize that your newborn child was not your own?
Well, it was probably about a month after she was home. Uh, you know, went to feed her, breastfeed her, and she already was teething, and she wouldn't. She didn't want the milk. She would actually bite and start suckling the blood, and yeah, that's when I was like, first that she was I'd had a child before. They don't get teeth that early, and then they not to take the nipple and said to bite and chew. And then she didn't want to eat except when my husband was making hamburgers. The raw meat, she would come in there. She would crawl in there and try and get to the hamburger meat. Oh, it was yeah. I went back to the hospital to ask for some help, and the hospital president said he couldn't help me. I wasn't insured. That they had already taken a loss by delivering the baby free of charge. He's the one that said they would do it with no problem.
Remember his name? Time.
Tyler. Uh, uh, can't remember his
Uh,
last name. Yeah.
okay, but we can find that out. And before the baby started teething, was there anything out of the ordinary, or did she
She
act was like a normal baby before that?
Yeah, I mean, she was larger than like a lot of babies, but that's not inordinately or anything. But it's like, I'm sorry, I'm still just stunned. I mean, I don't know what to think of
And,
this, but yeah.
and this may sound a little weird, but we're investigating all leads.
Mm.
The baby didn't change appearance or anything somewhere in the first few months, right? It's not like somebody swapped your baby out or something. You didn't get that
Oh,
feeling, right?
no, 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 no. Me, and others. She's like going, look. She's like, go look up this Facebook group, Mothers of St. Mary's. There's others out there.
I'll
Yeah.
immediately send a text message to Troy so he can start on it. But okay.
And you didn't have any
So
other children?
No, no,
and Mira was not. You didn't deliver Mira in St. Mary's, then.
no. My husband had a union job, and we had good health insurance when Mira was born. He lost his job, and we lost our health insurance when I was pregnant with Maxine.
And so the hospital offered to deliver the baby for free. That's pretty uncommon, isn't it?
Yeah, but
It's county, but county's last resort.
Okay.
Might be a cat. St. Mary's is probably a Catholic hospital, so
yeah.
it's possible.
Dylan, do you have any questions? Can you
Yeah.
think of something else?
Did your husband notice any difference in the child, or was it just you?
He he would agree that, like, she was developing faster and all, but he, he I think he just wanted to believe. He you know, he was telling me I was crazy for saying that wasn't Maxine.
And how was Mira's relationship with the child? Because she was obviously in the house. Did she exhibit any like jealousy or did she embrace the child?
Oh, she was jealous. She was used to being daddy's girl, and then uh, she wasn't number one anymore.
And excuse me, this might sound a little bit forward or whatever, but at what point did you feel that you had to kill your child? Or this, not this child, or what, however
This
you
thing,
describe it,
this
this
thing,
thing.
this
Okay,
thing.
what brought you to that point, or
Just
what time was that? What was the
it's
trigger?
it's desire for raw meat and blood. It got to be where that was the only thing I could get it to eat, and something like that shouldn't exist.
Did you tell anybody else about the what you were observing with this child? Anybody else you confide in or that even observed it?
The only people that after I went to the hospital and asked for help again, I was rejected. That's when I found the Facebook group, and I chatted with some of the other mothers on there.
Is it a
What
big
was
Facebook group? What do the other mothers say on the board? Is their experience similar or?
Well, there are yeah, I think so. You understand. I don't get they don't allow us a lot of internet access and stuff. Maybe an hour a week at most.
And I'm terribly sorry that I have to ask this, but it
No, no,
was you who did this, right? It's not that your daughter
no.
was jealous or any. Okay,
No, no.
this is a completely private. We won't judge. We
Yeah,
won't do.
this we've got our
Okay.
lawyer, the lawyer,
Nothing,
of
yeah,
course.
nothing will leave
Privilege.
this room.
Hmm.
I have one other follow-up question, because it sounds like you were a little bit financially strapped at the time, probably also during your court case. Who was the legal team and where did they come from? Were they supplied by, say,
It
the
is the
hospital or somebody else?
it is the public defender.
Okay.
He had about 15 minutes a week to meet with me.
Do we know who that public defender was, or do you remember their name? I know we could probably look it up in records, but
Yeah, yeah.
okay, we'll do that. I think that's the only questions I have. You got anything else, Samuel, you want to ask, or Vander?
I don't
Well,
think.
not that I can think of.
No.
Right. Excellent. Earl and Logan, guys, get to St. Mary's Hospital.
Yeah, I go
Uh,
in. Oh,
yep.
sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a three-story building. It was built in the late 40s, early 50s, so it's all made out of brick. The non-emergency room part of the hospital is open from about 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. But you guys are showing up, and when you come in, there's of course the receptionist sitting at the lobby desk. She just kind of looks up at you, but if you don't approach her, she just it goes back to reading her magazine.
Look,
What's
she's
her?
reading a magazine and not looking at her phone. There's hope.
Mhm. Yeah.
What is this receptionist's name? Do I have a rapport with her of any kind?
It's Pamela.
Pamela. Okay.
Mhm.
Hey, Pamela.
Oh, Miss Carter, I didn't know you were on shift today.
I'm not. Unfortunately, is Jeremy Thompson in? I have an issue with my paycheck. My personal accountant was looking over it with me, and it seems like they maybe taken out too much for taxes. And I mean, we
Um, She's like, yeah. It's morning. He should be able to help you out. Well,
Okay. I've never really had to talk to him. Can you point us in that direction?
oh, of course. And she goes, well, you got a badge to get through the security door, right?
Yeah,
Did you
yeah,
bring it? Yeah.
yeah,
So you go in there, and then she got to like
yeah,
give you a few directions
yeah,
too.
yeah. I got to fix these goddamn taxes, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yep. All right. We will head towards Jeremy Thompson's office.
Okay. Right. So where's Jerry? Yeah, yes. Okay. So when you go down the hallway, you come around the corner. Jeremy, he is a an older gentleman. He's probably in his 60s. When you come around the corner, he looks up and he's yes, may I help you? He kind of like rubbing his temple.
Yeah. I'm sorry to bother you. It seems I have an issue with my paycheck. They took out a little too much on taxes. My accountant
Oh,
was looking over it and said I
oh,
need to talk to
okay.
somebody in payroll or accounting. And
Oh, yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. I'll look into that. Sorry, can't get the light. It's a little bright in here this morning.
the, you want me to flip
Little
Yeah,
hungover.
flip the switch?
just a little. Just had a
Fun night.
couple last night. Yeah, yeah,
I'll
Hey,
yeah.
flip the switch.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. And got the light of the computer screen. So he goes, "And what was your name?"
Logan Carter. I
Okay,
work here part
he,
time.
yeah, he starts typing in and pulling up your records and all. So after a bit, he's like, "It seems like everything's right."
I,
it, I'll take a seat. Um,
Mm-hmm.
well, I don't know. I didn't see what Logan was talking about either, but it felt like, since he wanted you to look at it, I might as well come along with him because, outside of tax season, I take on some contract work. Um, and
All
uh,
right. Understand.
and
Yeah.
sometimes this contract work gets handled with local private investigators.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you were talking with my associate Sean Ferguson.
Um. You want to go talk outside the hospital? Maybe down at Dave's. He should be opening in about 30 minutes.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Good fresh
Dave,
air.
Dave's is the bar. So, okay. All right. So he gets up and you go down there. Before we go to Dave's, we're about an hour and a half, so we'll take a quick bio break there. So Earl and Logan, you guys, Jeremy walks over there to today's bar. He walks in. It's the type of bar you would expect that would open at 10:30 in the morning
So
on a
super
weekday.
nice, well
Yeah,
polished, everything's clean.
real nice. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
Um, he goes over. He goes up to the bar and he's like, two gin and tonics, please. And so pours it. And he goes, let's go sit in the booth over here. And on the way to the booth, he's down one of the gin and tonics already.
I slap the
Yeah.
bar and I say pretzels and beer cheese and follow.
Yeah. You got that
I will
Groupon?
just follow without ordering anything.
Okay.
I have this half off coupon.
Kitty stuff. So okay. So he sits down. And he's like going. He's like, so you said you were working with. You worked with Sean.
What's with the past tense?
Sean's dead.
How?
Excuse me?
Well, he's like going, I'm gonna ask you just to open your mind when I tell you this. He's like going, there's these things that live underneath the ground. And they eat on the dead. Uh, they got Sean. You know, how much do you know? That might make it easier.
Uh, we knew that there was something about financial transactions going on regarding the disposal of bodies at the hospital.
Pretty much
Yeah.
everything short of, zombies.
Yeah. He's like, well, well, we provide the medical services for the penitentiaries, right? Well, unfortunately, the accountant that signed that contract back in the 60s, he underestimated the inflation of Reagan's inflation. And we started losing money, but we couldn't renegotiate. And I was desperate. I, I mean, I was desperate. If the hospital closed, where would the poor go to get their medical care? And well, I one day I was kind of walking along and thinking about just drowning my sorrows because I wasn't going to be able to save it, and I ran into this dog face creature, and I don't know. So a moment of opportunity struck. Here I had people that were dying that didn't want to claim their bodies, the prisoners. He wanted the bodies, and he was more than willing to give me jewelry to that I could sell in the gift shop. We could make money.
The gift shop.
Yeah, the gift shop at the hospital.
You're
We
selling dead people's jewelry at the gift shop? I bought
yeah.
something for my mom from there.
We might resell it. No, he doesn't say that.
Multi-generational heirloom.
He goes, yeah, I know, but you understand, like we were going to lose the only health care for the poor. It was desperate. It's the only measure I could come up with, and look,
And
I wasn't hurting
Oh,
anyone.
okay.
This,
Let's. I mean,
dead people jewelry fixes that?
yeah, because you get it for free. You sell it. You don't have to pay to bury the prisoners. They take care of it.
I mean,
They're expensive.
I thought
question
$80
for
was steep, yeah.
okay. Not to be. I don't know exactly how to phrase this question. But what racial prejudice do you hold that you would describe this man as dog-faced?
Uh, he had a elongated face with canine extended canines.
Oh,
I
you mean like
mean,
literally? You're speaking literally.
yes, yeah, literally. Oh, yeah.
It's like you pulled
He,
up and here was this like border collie in a trench coat
yeah,
and was like, I have
he was,
jewelry, you have bodies, let's make this happen.
yeah. I mean, I told you,
Are you sure you're
it was
not?
crazy.
There's something else besides gin and these gin and tonics here?
Yeah. He's like, no, no, just gin. He's like, that's not even the worst of it.
Oh
No,
gosh.
I mean,
I turn
No.
like, Dave, I need my pretzels and beer cheese, please. How's it get worse than Dog Man and
and Sean being dead, yeah.
Well, because you know this was working fine. Like I know it's tasteless and maybe even unchristian. Well, probably not even maybe, but but we were helping poor, and then the new president came in, Tyler, and he started looking at the books, and they weren't adding up. To no surprise, and he started digging, and I finally had to tell him what we were doing, and he didn't fire me, call me crazy. He believed me. He said that his great great uncle had met these things before too. And he said his uncle knew that they were interested in taking our babies and letting us raise theirs.
So you met a totally different person that has also met these dog-faced
Yeah.
dead people jewelry sellers.
Yeah, he's the president of the hospital.
I mean, that is tasteless.
Okay, so are you trying to tell me that you assist dog-faced gremlin things to swap out babies?
Yeah, we get Mr. Pickman said that we'd get even better, that we could charge them even better jewelry, that they would get jewelry from exotic places where we could make even more money. And he said we're delivering the babies for free. These dredges, these on society, they owe it to us.
Oof.
That's not sure I agree with you there, but
I don't either, but
So what are you trading these babies? What are the incoming babies?
they're
Many
their
dog-faced babies?
offspring. Yeah. Yeah, and they get raised by the others, and
Well, they get smothered by the others in some cases.
that was just one time, but I mean maybe it should be all the times. Look, if you don't believe me, we there's a prisoner who's been in our morgue for the past 6 days. At 7 days, we consider it an unclaimed body. I'm taking it tomorrow night.
You want us to come watch?
It's that way.
no,
you
where
see,
the okay.
I'm not crazy.
Okay, listen. What the forget the dog men in trench coats, border collie trench coat, jewelry, baby swapping. What the fuck happened to Sean?
Sean talked to Tyler. Tyler got scared, and the dog, the dog, guy. I saw him. I saw his body in the mausoleum. They were
So
chewing on it.
the dog people are also hitmen?
Look, I don't know what kind of hold Tyler has on him, but
Where am I working?
Right. So we're gonna thank you so much for going over the financial
look,
ins and
I,
outs of your institution.
I gave Sean all the financial documents. I gave him all the proof.
Dogmen are in your financial documents?
No, I gave him the proof that we're getting the jewelry, we're making that money for free, that we're not paying to bury the bodies.
Okay.
Gotcha. All right. All right.
You know what? Dave's going to
Logan,
deliver some pretzels here in a moment. You can have them. They're as tasteless as your business.
Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us. What time were you saying that you're going to give the body over to the dogmen?
Like, oh no. He's like, I'll be picking it up at 10 at night, tomorrow night.
10 p.m. tomorrow. I'll have to check to see if I'm free to meet with the dogmen.
I'm beginning a very long text chain that begins, "You will not fucking believe this."
Troy's like, yeah.
Troy will be gloating that he was right about the clan of man-eating gremlins. Like,
Tell
What the-
Earl he owes me $50.
This is still insane. I can't believe any of you are believing this bullshit, but whatever. 10 p.m. tomorrow night, meeting with
It might just be a cult of cannibals.
a cult of cannibals
Cult of
in Lincoln,
cannibals.
Nebraska.
Where else?
Probably
It's
Florida.
just cornfields. They're tired of the corn.
Mm.
Well,
Jeremy, like, two more gin and tonics over here.
Jeremy, if you keep drinking like this, you're going to die of alcohol poisoning before you can meet with the dog people.
Believe me, that'd be a blessing.
Oh my God, that's the goal.
Well, again, thank you so much for meeting with us. I'll check. I guess I can't check with Sean on the account that Dogman ate him. But I'll have to see if I can find those documents. Maybe see you tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Thank you so much. I have other business to attend to. So we'll leave you to it. Your day
Thank you
drinking.
for the pretzels.
Back here. Put all the actually, never mind. I'm not feeling generous. Let's go, Logan.
I just say I don't know what the fuck to do with any of that.
I mean, that's horrible.
You're not
right?
taking your pretzels to go?
Oh no. I gave them to Jeremy because they're not good. They're not. I just got to eat.
Well,
get a good deal.
Let's go to lunch. Let's go to Wendy's. It's on the way back to the office. I'm sure everybody else is going to be coming back from the prison pretty soon. So yeah, let's go to Wendy's and think this over.
Yeah, let's hit up that 4 for $4 at Wendy's.
You know, at Wendy's, their meat is fresh every morning.
Too bad it's late afternoon.
And second thought, how are you feeling about salads? They have salads.
I mean, salads are just, typically an appetizer to like what's coming after.
But see, I will be having a Baconator because the meat portion of that doesn't disgust me because I do not believe that there are dog men in Lincoln, Nebraska, little border collie faces and trench coats eating people. Or maybe they're more like greyhounds, those really long,
The trafficking of human remains is extremely illegal.
No.
In California and everywhere else. So
I had no idea.
Yes to Baconators.
Yes.
Plural.
Agreed.
Like 2.
And like a Frosty, maybe.
Oh.
So the real question is, if the hospital is doing some illegal shit, I mean, it doesn't matter whether it's dog people or anything like that. We can bring them down. The question is that how did Maxine actually get to California, and why was she there? And obviously she couldn't have possibly known who she was, right?
Well,
because she would have contacted someone.
According to your swap theory, the dog men raised her as their own and took her to California.
Did she escape? Did they have a commune
we could
in
ask
California?
her, but she's dead. I don't know. I don't know what the dog men do. I don't know how their society is structured.
Yeah,
I think there are quite a few cults
all across America.
Quite a few cults in California, weird ones.
No, that's California for you. But again, why are we? This man has been swapping babies out for dogmen babies. Is that what we're believing?
Let's set the whole dogmen thing aside and just think of it as like we do in lawyer school. The party and the first party and the second party, and somebody is giving bodies to another party, and they're trading in illegal human remains, which is illegal. If they want to wear dog masks and pretend that they're dogs, that's fine, but that's not what we're concerned with. And I don't know, why would they switch their children for human children? That doesn't make any sense. Unless you're going to eat the babies, but nobody ate this baby.
I like how this is where your suspension of disbelief falls apart.
No, I'm just saying this is, we just have to keep looking at it from the most logical perspective. There are crazy, weird cults that do evil and horrible, nasty things, and they've infiltrated a hospital.
But while I'm having a salad while I'm chomping down, I'll say, I know that Troy is chomping at the bits to get into these gremlin men, but that's not really what we're hired for, right? We were hired to figure out how Maxine, what happened to her, how she came to be there. That's
so
our job.
How about you all go to the meeting at 10 p.m. tomorrow night with the dogmen, and I'll fly out to California and actually talk to fucking Billy Appleton about this
sure.
dough.
But if you have looked at our finances as accountant, you will know you have to pay the flight out of your own pocket, right?
Who is Billy Appleton again?
Billy Appleton,
the officer,
the California Highway Patrol officer.
Yeah.
But what is he possibly going to tell you? Obviously, he is a John Doe or a Jane Doe. He doesn't know where she is or who she was or where she lived or anything. Troy, can you find any record of Maxine Perry in California living anywhere?
Okay. Give me
obviously DNA brought her up, so
yeah. So I won't even make you roll on that one, Troy. You do a search. There is no record of a Maxine Perry.
If she was swapped out when she was a baby, she wouldn't know she was Maxine Perry or anything. So,
well, if she had done a DNA test, she would have found out that she had records. But I don't know.
Depends on when she did a DNA test, because we don't know when the parents were put into the system. Could have been a year or two ago.
If there's some sort of crazy people that are switching babies and kidnapping babies, they're obviously not eating the babies. They're letting the babies grow up because Maxine grew up. It's a weird thing.
That's the weird part, because Jeremy said that they're swapping the babies. They want human babies so they can raise them, right? But if they are swapping, it means they are replacing it. So it means they have babies of their own. So if they have babies of their own, why do they need human babies to raise with them?
Because they're ugly dog babies.
Well, Troy, you could actually, if you leave your computer and you go tomorrow night at 10 p.m., you can ask the dogmen.
With plenty of recording equipment to have.
We need backup, because if they killed Sean, then they could kill us.
Yeah, who the fuck's this Tyler fellow?
The head of the hospital.
Right, but have we done any, head up his social media? Like, well, who is this guy?
I find it kind of funny that Sean was murdered because he was starting to ask questions, and Thompson just spills the beans to us, without any effort.
Well, the man has basically been subsisting. He's been drinking a lot of alcohol, pretty much living off of alcohol, it seems like.
Find out that the head of the hospital is Tyler Maneater, spelled Maneater.
Was it Tyler Pickman?
Tyler Pickman.
Pickman. That name sounds vaguely familiar. Like an artist? I don't know. Something sounds weirdly familiar.
The artist of the dog-headed men, yes.
I'm
The
sensing
dogs-
some
the dogs-
slight sarcasm coming from
Oh, I'm
from
sorry.
there.
I'm sorry.
Did
Are
he
we
do the
really-
dogs sitting around the table playing
Playing
poker?
poker? Yeah, probably. Look, what do you want me to, what do you want from me, Samuel? Do you want me to just be like, yes, there are people with dog heads
Well, I think like Vander
lurking
said,
about,
maybe they are wearing
swapping up
dog
babies.
masks, or I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with some kinkish things on the internet. Some people like to wear dog masks. Maybe they use it also to keep anonymous while doing
Oh,
these
and of
trades.
course,
They're called furries.
we could look at this mothers of St. Mary's. Maybe they all have, their children were growing up, and then suddenly they're like, my baby looks like a pug. Oh God.
I do want to check out this Facebook group. It's
Okay.
yeah.
All
It's good that
right.
you mention it. I'll do it while we're
Yeah.
at dinner, just lunching. I'm just gonna go on my phone.
Okay. Yeah. When you go onto that Facebook group, you see there's about 30 members, and they're posting in there. A lot of them are like going, "Hey, if you kind of spend a little time on it early on when people are first there, they keep going, am I a bad mother for feeling this way about my child?" And then people, how an echo chamber kind of works, they start reaffirming it. Um, One thing you notice is that almost all of them, their child uh, ran away about when they were 5 or 6 years old.
Do I know any of the contacts that are in there, or do any of us know one of the mothers that's in there?
Probably not, but they're all local, so you could easily look them up.
Do we want to look up one of these mothers and chat with them about their experience, or do you all think this is a dead lead? Doesn't go.
I mean, if there are dogs involved, I'm sure there's lots of leads. Gotta
God.
get their exercise, right? Right. God.
Okay, I'll just look through a few of the profiles, and one that's posting a lot and especially like gossiping and talking a lot about her own stuff going on. I'll contact that mother
Okay.
to see. I'll say I'm writing a story or investigating St. Mary's Hospital.
Okay. Pamela Lombard is the woman that is currently the most active on the site.
Okay.
She does write back that she agrees. She's like going, yeah, I think that hospital does need to be there. They, they gave me the wrong child. They gave me this. She's like, I don't know. She's like, it can't. It's not my child, but I'm trying to love it. And this is all chatting, of course.
Yeah. I'll chat back like when she started to notice that it wasn't her child, if it had any odd behaviors. Like, I'm not gonna give examples, but like a craving for meat or something.
But
like that.
yeah, you start getting the same kind of things that Wendy was telling. The teething early, when she would go to breastfeed it would bite her.
Okay. I'll show this all to Earl Tinman, because he seems to be the most skeptical, and I'll tell him like these experiences sound very familiar. Like this is exactly.
Oh yes, people in the same Facebook group who agree on some batshit insane idea. This must be true. Oh my God, the Flat Earther group with 3,000 members who all agree the Earth is flat. Oh my God, you solved it. Facebook is the arbiter of all truth and knowledge in the world. What are we even talking about?
Wendy
Okay, and
experienced
also,
this.
why do people not use bottles anymore? I don't know.
Wendy
Good way to
experienced
not
this 16 years ago, 17 years ago, and she only went onto the Facebook group way after that when she found it. Now she might have her memories have been supplanted after joining the Facebook group that she thought it happened to her before. Well, it didn't, but I mean that there is something here, I feel like. But
How about this? How about this? You all go meet with the dog people, the dog-headed men, tomorrow night at 10 p.m. I'm thinking a brief jaunt over to California for a little bit of a vacation and some actual detective work sounds wonderful. So I'll be doing that. You all enjoy, your time at the dog park. All right.
okay,
I'm in favor of that. I'll pay for your ticket. No.
You're
But-
so kind.
you won't get any per diem from the company. We'll pay you for your time there, but your meals and everything,
That
we'll have to go from
that
you.
works for me. I'll book my ticket. I'll leave tomorrow.
All right.
You guys might not make a lot of money, but I'm a lawyer.
Yeah, exactly.
I do.
I spend all
What
my
is
money
this?
I get from y'all on, food.
I think I work for Sam and Dylan pro bono. So
Yeah.
Wait, Logan, after all of these half-off coupons, you're still spending everything you make on food?
I work part-time at a county hospital.
all right.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so what's the next thing you guys want to do? You just want to wait till the 10 o'clock body drop off?
I think I'm flying to California. I don't know what these other
I
motherfuckers
love
are
it.
doing.
I'm going to I'm honestly intrigued. I don't believe in dog-faced people, but I do believe there could be some bizarre weird cult. There's lots of them.
Mhm.
I'm gonna look into this, research the occult, see if there's any kind of cannibal legends of cannibal clubs or tribes or whatever.
Okay.
See if there have been
Uh,
any cases, of people tried for cannibalism.
Okay.
I'm hanging out. I'm getting like a 4 piece of nugget value thing at Wendy's, and then I'm going to hang out and because I have to go to work the next day, so I feel like a 10 o'clock rendezvous with Dogface Man is a good end to the weekend.
Yeah. That's a weekend.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Tyler Pickman. I would like to investigate him, his online
Okay.
presence, and his history, right? What did he do before becoming the CEO?
Okay.
And
All
of
right.
course, of my occult interests, the dog-faced people,
Oh
the
yeah.
dog-faced
Okay.
gremlins.
All
I'm
right.
sure there will be something about those.
Okay. All right. So for Vander, you kind of looking it up. What you find on cannibalistic cults and all besides, like the one there are cannibalistic cults in American history and but like none that are quite like, that quite fit what this is. Of course, there are stories of changelings and all these, and there's always been rumors of things hanging out at cemeteries and
The problem is that people are afraid of the dark. They're
Mhm.
afraid of the unknown. And so cemeteries and forests and stuff are always haunted by people eating ghouls,
Yeah,
especially New England.
yeah. All right. And Troy, give me a with those kind of research. That sounds like a kind of computer use and stuff. having you roll that a lot. But
That's 30, 33, so it's a hard success.
hard success. Okay, what you find out about Tyler Pickman? Um, Before he did this, he kind of moved. He was one of like a vulture capitalist, so he would go around, he would buy up companies to dismantle them. That's how he made his money, and then he discovered there's a lot of money in healthcare, especially you know with the rise of insurance, and then of course the opioid crisis. He was able to take advantage of that. Seems like he's a guy that found a niche in the capitalistic market that he could make money no matter who suffered. With a heart though, and looking up the dog face things, and with Pikmin, you do find a reference to this obscure artist from the 20s, Richard Upton Pikmin, who would paint some paintings like this. Some of his paintings through time they've been auctioned off, and some of them do have dog-faced creatures. You see one where it's called The Lesson, where these dog-faced creatures are around what is obviously a human child, and they're offering it part of a corpse to eat. Then there's another one where you see a human family sitting around a table, and one of the children has kind of canine features, but is still dressed in the clothes of the family at all. And so, kind of.
Oh, yeah, that's the proof. That's all the proof that Troy needed. He's now completely convinced.
Okay. Right.
And of course, I'm updating the group about my findings.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Right. Anyone else was doing anything? Earl, you're on the flight out to California?
Yeah, got my itinerary all set up. I'll land, I'll get a rental car, go out to San Bernardino.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. Let's see here.
Landed in Ontario.
Yeah. Okay. Detective Appleton of the Highway Patrol, he was the one that had called Mira and informed her. Takes a bit to meet up with him, but he will meet up with you, and he goes, "Oh, you could have called. I would have happily talked to you on the phone, but what can I help you with?" So I see you there, Earl.
Sorry, run that by me one more time. I was looking at airports in California.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
I'm landing in Ontario International Airport,
yeah.
That's closer to San Bernardino than LA.
Yeah. Detective Appleton, he greets you and he goes, what can I help you with?
Hello, I am Earl Tidman. I'm an associate with the private investigative firm Blackburn and Stack. I wouldn't be surprised. A kind of small time deal in Lincoln, Nebraska, of all places. But Mira Perry, who I believe you've spoken to on the phone regarding her sister.
Oh,
or
yeah.
the Jane Doe that may be her sister.
Oh, yeah. The DNA confirmed that they were related.
Yeah, just here to kind of just do some fact finding on the behest of my client.
Did she hire someone else? Detective Ferguson called me about 3 weeks ago about this.
Yeah, he dropped the contract.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, they were pretty unprofessional.
I mean,
but
very. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we got called out to the scene of the accident. The driver of the car, they were just headed north up to San Francisco, and they said this woman just came down the hill and just shot out in front of it. And of course, they were going 75 miles an hour, so they couldn't really stop. And
Yeah, ask a favor. I mean, if we could go, like, look at the body, read through your reports, and then if we could actually get out to the scene of where this happened,
oh,
might
yeah,
give my client, if this was her sister,
Mhm.
she wants to know how, the state of things, and
Okay.
maybe you can see how she was living or where she was living, even if it's under
Yeah.
the freeway, she'd want to
Oh,
know.
okay. Yeah. So he lets you it's a case, it's a closed case, and so what summarize of what's kind of in the file and stuff. The woman had no identification on her. She was dressed in rags that wasn't even enough to really be considered to make her decent. Uh, Probably they estimated she was probably no more than 20 years old, and her fingernails were quite filthy, like she had been digging in the dirt. Her hair was matted. He estimated that she probably hadn't had a shower in months, if not longer, and that she was Jane Doe. But the sheriff was trying to figure out who was making a big push to try and get her identified. So they'd had some luck finding the Golden State Killer through genealogical websites, backwards tracing the DNA, and so they tried it out. And luckily for them, Mira had submitted her DNA to 23andMe. We're able to. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this all looks above board.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
And
let's
I,
go. Let's go. Let's go
let's
on
go
out
to the
there.
site. Yeah.
Yeah. They drive out there, they get there and it's kind of got a steep hill off on the east side of the highway and all. He goes, yeah, they said she came running down that hill and just shot out across the highway. Well, she
Anybody
may
go up there?
Yeah, we went up there and looked around. We didn't find any campsite or anything.
Okay. Well, if you wouldn't mind, waiting here while I go, just check
Oh,
around.
no problem at all.
Okay. So get out of the car. I'll go check around.
Yeah, you kind of climb up the hill and stuff. I won't make you do a climb, but you oh God,
Twist my ankle, die out here.
Yeah. Give me a spot hidden.
Oh God, 74 is not great. And I don't really have that much luck, as we've established at the beginning.
You can push it.
You know what? Yeah, we can come all this way to just leave it at this.
Yeah. If you fell, you're going to step in a hole and jack up your leg pretty good.
Oh God. 05. Holy shit. Extreme success.
So you kind of get down there and you dig around, and maybe it's just that weird conversation you had with Jeremy. It gave you, instead of looking for a camp or something, you find this burrow, I guess, this hole out of the ground. Pretty large, but it had been overgrown with like the weeds and all, so it was a little hard to spot. But yeah.
Yeah, I'll go to where I can like signal good old Appleton here.
Mm-hmm.
Say, hey, I found something.
Oh, okay. So he comes up there and he looks down. He's like, it's a big hole. Like, I have to get outside, talk to the animal control, find out what kind of creature would have been digging that out.
Yeah, I mean, I just wonder if she was living in here,
Maybe. my dad, he talks about being a tunnel rat in Vietnam and having to crawl in holes like that.
How so? How big of it? Like, do we have to like crawl on, like, flat on the
What's your
stomach?
size?
Crawl
What's your size?
50.
You would fit. I mean, you'll be kind of hunched over. Looks like it kind of goes down, not straight down, but at a
Hmm.
slope for about 5.5 feet down. If you're like
Yeah, I'll
using your
just.
cell phone as a
I
light.
think I can. I think I can do it. Just wait here,
Okay.
officer. I will. Whoop.
Okay. All right. So when you get down there, it's very obvious that it's was dug out, like, but not
Mhm.
with tools, because you can actually see like finger marks and all.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, and give me a Constitution roll.
38 is good.
Okay. Yeah. The smell. It's got a smell of a corpse down here, but
Ugh.
yeah, but
Ugh.
you don't get
Ugh.
sick. Okay.
Can you pass me down your flashlight?
Of course, you be careful now down there.
I take
Like
it. There might
you're in
be a body in here.
I'll call it in. You Nebraskans, man, you guys are weird.
Just good at my job, and I turn the flashlight on. Look around.
Okay. All right. Um, so when you turn on your flashlight, you see that there's lots of different tunnels leading into this tunnel.
We got a lot of tunnels down here.
Hmm.
Is there like a corpse in here with me?
No,
Yeah, it just smells
just
bad.
overall it smells
And
bad.
all the tunnels are like the same size.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little variance, but yeah, about the same size.
Well, I'll shine a flashlight down each of them.
Hmm. When you shine it down there, sometimes when you bring it back, you could have swore that the tunnel looks a little different. Like, oh, I thought that turned to the left. Now it turns to the right.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go back out now.
Okay.
I'm
All
coming up,
right.
Mr. Apple.
All right. And he kind of reaches his hand down to help you pull you out.
Yeah, there's a whole fucking network of tunnels down there.
Oh, yeah. We'll have to definitely get animal control out here. Figure out what's going on. Maybe we got a new species.
Maybe some kind of dog.
Maybe. I don't know a lot. I guess, yeah, dogs
Prairie
can,
dogs,
they
dog.
like to dig. Yeah, yeah, maybe.
Well, I'm gonna
Yeah.
dust myself off and no sense wandering through weird tunnels by myself.
Oh, good choice. Heard a guy in the 80s played D&D and did that. And they died. So, all right. Okay. Back in the good old state of Nebraska, uh, it's if you guys were going to go meet Jeremy for his rendezvous, okay, where
Yeah.
he tells you that what's the cemetery's name? The cemetery is St. Michael's Cemetery. He uh, he tells you that he'll be getting there just a little bit after 10. He'll be driving the white El Camino with the large long bed. So
Was our intention to stake the place out and observe from a distance, or do we want to set up close surveillance? This is 2023. We've got pinhole cameras and everything else. We can do all over the place. Or do we
Did-
want to just go there and with him?
I think as I'm holding a milkshake from Sonic, I think we're just going with him.
Well, what if these are
I-
criminals that would kill us?
I I would say split. Like two or three go, one or two go with Jeremy, and the others observe more from a distance. So if anything happens, they can rush in and come to help. But Jeremy did say that it's okay with for us to join him like in the open, just stand right next to. Okay, okay.
He told me that we could join him, so I'm gonna go with Jeremy. I'm gonna be with him.
I can be on stakeout.
I
I'll
want
go
to
with
capture
Logan and
footage.
Jeremy.
I think I'll stay in my nearby car.
Troy's YouTube channel will blow up after this.
And I want like multiple cameras, multiple angles,
Okay.
something. If there is a mausoleum mentioned before, so if we can locate it, right, have cameras for that to see them coming in. Something a little bit more far away to have more of a panorama.
Give me
And in
electronics to get all that stuff set up. You said you had some of those skills, right?
That's a regular success.
All right, yeah. You've done this before. You've set up cameras to capture stuff before. Uh, yeah. Okay. All right. So the time arrives. You see, if you were Jeremy, he picks up the body and he drives over to the cemetery. It's only a block away, but they've got it in the casket and everything, the cheapest casket they could find. And were you riding with him, Logan?
Is he by himself?
Yep.
Then I guess I'm helping carrying this body. So
Okay.
yes.
So when he pulled up to the hospital, the morgue attendant and stuff helped load it up.
Yeah.
Mhm. So yep. He's like, just you?
I'm riding with him.
Oh yeah. Well, he's like going, just letting you know, don't be too surprised. They can be a little shocking the first time you see them.
Should I avoid like eye contact?
No. They're intelligent and all. I just don't want you to scream or freak out.
No screaming or freaking out. You got it.
Yeah. So yeah. So he pulls up to a mausoleum, and now a lot of the mausoleums are kind of older. After a while, people stop kind of visiting and taking care. They've got vines. This one here, it looks like it's actually been upkept and stuff. So he backs the car up. He stops and he goes up there and he knocks on the mausoleum door, and then he steps back. In a moment of time, the door starts to open, and you see like a claw kind of on the door, and it pushes it open, and these two ghouls step out of the mausoleum and all. You guys can all give me a sanity for seeing some ghouls.
Yeah.
They
I expected
are-
dog-faced men, but I
Yeah,
also
but-
did not expect dog-faced men.
Yeah.
Well, they look like dog face men.
Yeah, they're a dog face.
That
I got
is,
a 14, so I passed.
I got an 82 over 70. So
Okay, that's a
fail.
1d6 if you fail. It's 0 if you pass.
Just a guy in a suit,
Guys in masks.
It's nothing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Furries.
Okay.
With milkshake in hand, I roll a 5.
All right. Give me an intelligence roll on that one.
All right.
Hmm.
I got a decent amount of that.
That's not good.
But I
No.
wrote a 000.
Okay, yeah, you're behind, like, kind of blocked out. Yeah. So you lose five sanity, but you failed your intelligence roll, so you don't have a bow.
Yeah, totally mass.
Yeah. So the larger of the two, he's got like a little burlap sack in his hand, and he hands it over to Jeremy, and Jeremy gets it, and the thing goes. He's like, I think you'll like it. He's like, and I dug it out of some of the cemeteries in Austria this time. He's like, some of them are a couple hundred years old. The bodies aren't as tasty when they're that old, but they're easy to access. And then the other one comes over. He opens up the coffin and he just kind of picks up the body that's in it and throws it over his shoulder. And the one looks around and goes, who are your friends to meet in here? Another, they've got another proposal. The babies have been working out quite well.
I'm just Logan. I I didn't believe this was real, but now
I
I
am
might.
I'm James. It's good to meet you and
That is
all.
a really regular name for a dog man.
Well, I wasn't always. I I was on the Oregon Trail with my parents when our wagon broke down, and I was hungry, and they were the only food around.
You hold on. You ate you ate your parents?
I was starving. I was desperate, but look how it's blessed me. I've lived over 2 centuries now.
I I Our ideas of blessed may be misaligned.
I have all the time in the world.
For what?
Oh, for anything. Some people like about 70 years ago, maybe 80, we had one guy, he was just obsessed with books. He didn't have enough time to read books. And we showed him how he could live forever. And he joined us in his cemetery up there in Massachusetts. Oh, it's lots of people find it and all. I hope if only we could get some electricity down here, people could play video games forever.
Oh, I'm just a nurse. I can't help you with that, but live forever? What I mean, I don't know that I want to live forever. That's like a lot of rent and taxes.
Oh no, down in the Warrens, it's free. We all help out, and there's always more bodies being buried, so food is always available. It has you can find it has quite the gamey flavor.
Bodies have a gamey flavor.
So about this time, I kind of get over my initial freak out and go, "Where are the babies?" thing.
Oh, he's like going, we 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 get the babies and we feed them some bodies and they become like us. And then then the ones that the mortals raise, they already are us, and so we're doubling the amount gaining quickly and all without a lot of effort.
Oh,
You get the impression he sees nothing wrong with what he's doing.
I have no words.
It's like, oh well, it's,
So how did you how do you become like you? Just eating flesh?
yeah, it takes a little bit of time. Of course, just a bite or two isn't going to do it, but over a few years of eating the dead and cracking open their bones, the marrow, licking it out, it's quite wonderful. You slowly evolve.
That's gross.
No, well, I find it horrible that people eat tofu.
Have you
It
ever
has
had
no
a milk?
flavor.
Have you ever had a milkshake?
Hmm, I can't say that I have. Hmm. Hmm.
Better than people?
No,
No.
but if you
Okay.
ground up some bone in this, it'd be tasty.
I'm streaming this to Earl.
I think I
The
look over at Logan and go, "I think it's time to go."
Yeah. I don't know how we I don't know what to do here. You're the
He's
detective. What do we do? Do we uh can you arrest them? I mean, this is like illegal shit, right?
I think I'm gonna get back in the car now.
Oh, so no authoritative, nothing really. Okay. Uh, well, I'll have my milkshake back
hands it back to you.
and just gonna live forever, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That's wild.
There's people from French Revolutionary times. There's
Oh, just
people
living
from
forever eating
all.
people, huh?
Hmm. The food supply never ends.
And it's free. No coupons needed.
That is that. Sorry, that is true.
Okay.
It's time to go.
I'm I'm gonna get in the car. Yeah, I'm gonna get in the car because I mean, working at a county hospital sucks, but
We have to go.
I don't know that it sucks as much as sucking human marrow out of a bone.
Oh well, when you get in there, they think Jeremy, and they turn around, they carry the body into the mausoleum, and James reaches behind him and he pulls the door shut.
So Jeremy, so that's the whole thing.
Yeah,
Every
yeah. And he's like, and he dumps out the burlap sack into his hand, and there's jewelry
okay.
in it. And if you have an appraise, you could try and
I mean, I have 5% in it.
yeah,
And I did not hit 5% or less.
yeah. It looked nice,
And, th
priceless as far as you know.
and this somehow rolls around through the thing and pays me as an employee.
Yes, yes, it does. Yeah, because now I've got this jewelry that we can sell or pawn for money. We didn't pay anything for it. We didn't have to pay to dispose of the body, and now we can serve the citizens that can't afford insurance.
I mean, there's a lot to unpack there, right? There's the whole Robin Hood aspect of doing good for poor people.
You're
I'm
not
going
There's a
actually
to
considering this, are you?
I'm going to join them and say, well, I mean, there's some legal problems here, but
Are
I'm not
there?
I'm not a scientist. Yeah, there's definitely some legal problems here, but I'm not a scientist, and I wonder what a biologist would say. There are a lot of species that eat carrion, that eat the dead, and they're part of the ecosystem, and they're an important part of the ecosystem because they get rid of dead bodies. I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere in human evolution there was a species that evolved to eat the dead. These guys.
I guess I'm trying to figure out where we land on the moral scale.
No, morals aren't legal. Morals are religious.
Yeah, I mean, I guess as long as I collect a paycheck and keep
I mean,
contributing
you're a
to
nurse. Morally, doctors in the 1800s were stealing bodies so that they could figure out how the human body worked. The church wanted them all thrown in prison for, but without them, we would never have learned medical procedures.
and I got rent to pay.
And
So
this
it's
jewelry belongs to what? People in old graves in
They don't
Austria?
they don't need it.
How the hell did they get all the way to Austria? Are they getting on boats and crossing the ocean or airplanes and flying over?
I don't think I'm prepared to think about that.
Was was Maxine one of them?
I think maybe she was a little dog child.
They would have had to have fed her human flesh.
Of the
I don't
switched
know.
baby? Did they switch the babies and then feed
Well, that's
written?
what I was listening in. That's what they said, that they give their babies to the humans to raise, and then they run away when they get old enough and join the ghouls. But the human babies they take, they start feeding them human flesh, and they become ghouls as well. So they're doubling their. It sounds so much like biology to me. The cuckoo that puts its own eggs in other birds' nests. And
So I guess my question is, should I or shouldn't I feel bad for earning my wage from this type of establishment?
that's a personal
Well,
thing.
that's up to you. You know that our agency cannot pay you very much, so, I would totally
Sounds like
understand you.
sounds like you're saying buy into the baby selling body switching business.
They could
I,
they could be
no, go
living on
ahead.
the fringe. They could be living on the fringe of society, eating random homeless people that they manage to capture and kill and eat. Or they could do it this way, where they're getting already dead people from the people who die in the penitentiary or the mortuary or whatever, and making an exchange. I don't know. It's
And
a
and
it's a like I say, there's legal problems, but I don't think there's insurmountable legal problems. In fact, I
Uh,
wouldn't be surprised if this has been going on
I mean,
and
and
people in the legal system know about it.
I don't run the hospital, so there's no legal problems for me. I just collect a paycheck. I just got to make sure is Logan Carter morally okay with collecting this paycheck
There
and
are true
turning that in.
moral
Go ahead.
there are true moral conundrums. First one is the disposal of bodies in exchange for jewelry, and the other one is swapping of babies.
Yeah, the swapping of
the,
babies is not a good thing.
no,
Yeah.
that's definitely a little more on the iffy side. The
Yeah.
otherwise, I mean, it's not good, but it gives the hospital room to help people without insurance, and
It
Lord knows
does.
those, you know, everybody knows you don't want to be in debt for the rest of your life if you stub your toe once.
I mean, truth be told, I sneak an expired coupon through, to McDonald's every once in a while.
I mean, if you, there's all sorts of moral conundrums. If you ran a convenience store and you were selling chocolate and alcohol that was made by slave labor in other countries, I mean, how far do you go to be culpable for the way you're making your money?
Think
Everybody's
about,
eventually corrupt on the edge.
yeah. I mean, we all use phones, we all use electronics. Do you think all those
Yeah.
things that go into it are sourced
We give our
responsibly?
children we give our children toys that were made by children in other countries. I just wish Earl had been here so that I could rub his nose in it.
I mean, his
I have
nose.
a theory
I
that he went away, so because he, in the back of his mind, he does believe, but he doesn't want to admit it, so he went away so he can
I mean, he may have gone somewhere where
deny
now
it.
his nose is a long, like canine nose. We
I
don't know what
sent
he
him
got.
I sent him the feed, so if I don't know if he's watched it yet or not, but he'll eventually watch it.
Earl has just responded with, "Wow, ChatGPT has really gotten good at this video creation thing, hasn't it?"
2023, did we already was just about starting maybe.
Yeah.
But Troy also
Yeah.
has different angles and everything, and the ghoul didn't have like 10 six fingers on one hand, so
You know, I found some evidence. I didn't really put it together, but there have been rumors of these ghouls in New England for hundreds of years living under the city. And there is a tie into Pikmin. Wasn't there? I think he was an artist. Isn't that correct, Troy?
Yes, and I'm wondering, were they related? The artist with
Hickman.
the CEO, the president.
I don't know. I'm not sure what we should do. I think we can tell. What do we tell uh, uh, Myra? Mira? Do we tell her that her sister was abducted and that she escaped and got hit by a car?
I think as Logan becomes okay with this situation, he pulls out the get one free milkshake from behind his back and starts sipping on it.
Well, yeah, but did any of you get a feel for what Myra, like, what level she might believe? Well, I don't think we have to tell her everything. I mean, we can,
tell
but
her
I think she'll think we're crazy.
we could tell her it was a dead end, but that would be unethical too. We should be. She is paying us, sort of.
Can show her the footage, but will she believe it?
Yeah, about that. I mean, maybe we should just walk away from this. Except Logan. Logan's the one working there, knowing what's going on.
You
We
could give her
can-
the story without giving all of the details that there was a baby swap. She escaped her captors and then eventually was hit by a car and killed. So the story fits. You're just not giving all of the elements that would make us sound like we're crazy.
Yeah,
And
I
the
think that's probably for the best. Go ahead.
The captors were part of some sort of underground cult, literally. But that we can't. We have no way. No way of ever knowing who switched the babies. What about the mothers of St. Mary's or whatever they called them?
Yep, that was it.
Oh, I think we all need to sleep on it.
Okay.
Yeah. We can
All right. Yeah. Yep.
we can do a call with Earl in it as well tomorrow. Maybe he has some fresh ideas.
Might be on his way back already
Well,
from Ontario.
I don't know how long it takes. So
4 hours, maybe.
Right. Okay. So you guys go to bed, wake up. What is the decision of this horrible moral quandary?
Well, Logan shows up for his shift promptly at 8 o'clock in the morning, clocks in, and gets to work.
I love it.
I'm a lawyer. I won't comment. I'll just do whatever Dylan and Samuel want to do legally. I'll back them up. But I have no comment on any of it. It's too complicated a question for a lawyer to.
Well, at the very least, I mean, yeah, that little video you managed to pull together with AI, that was really funny. But these people, baby swappers or whatever the fuck you want to call them, they killed, murdered, disposed of, whatever, verb you want, our
Sean
fellow
Ferguson?
PI, Sean Ferguson. If you don't take them out and they learn that you've been digging, what do you think that they're going to do to you?
Do you have any evidence that they did that?
Thompson told us.
Yeah, but that's not evidence.
No evidence. Yeah, okay.
Okay, so when Thompson says there's fucking dog-faced men, we're like, oh, let's hear him out. when he says they literally murdered this guy, and we're like, that's just hearsay. That's just hearsay. We'll believe the dog-faced baby swappers, but when he says they fucking killed the guy, we're like, no, that's stretching reality. That's too much. They cannot possibly have killed this guy who no one's seen for weeks.
We're not saying we don't believe him. We're saying it's not evidence. I think.
I've trained my whole life to just block my own opinions on things and just deal with the things I can legally. So I've
it's hard
disassociated.
It's hard for me to hear this conversation over myself enjoying a breakfast burrito from the gas station.
Dead
Look,
animals.
I don't know what the fuck you're
there.
gonna do, but I'm gonna leave an anonymous tip with the police about Jeremy Thompson and the death of Sean Ferguson.
Do we have? I assume we have some context with the police, right?
Oh yeah.
We might give them a tip, like, you didn't get this from us, of course, but you might want to see what's there. Mm-hmm. This connection.
I wouldn't be surprised if the police go, "Oh yeah, we know." Shut up.
But just about the murder of Sean Ferguson, I mean, yeah, he was a rival and I didn't like him too much, but he didn't deserve to go out this way. Now, what about what we tell Myra and about the whole ghouls and baby swapping thing? I think Dylan was onto something. We just tell them the outlines and don't mention that it's ghouls or anything.
A kidnapping ring, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. We don't tell her about the fictitious dog-faced people. That would be very unprofessional. Very unprofessional.
Agreed.
Yeah.
The people I fucking work with.
That sounds like a good way. So you tell Mira, like she said, if you didn't, she just was doing this to try and like help her sleep at night. You helped her sleep at night by going, "Hey, this is what happened." She buys it. They look into Sean Ferguson. There was a hole in his office closet. But he goes on a list of unsolved cases because there was no fingerprints around. They are pretty sure he's gone, but they don't know. The one thing that does bother you is about once a year, there's a news story about a child that went missing, a runaway. The community organizes a big, massive search. And then after a couple weeks, it kind of just fades from the news as some other controversy dominates the news cycle. But in the back of your mind, you always know what kind of was happening.
Allegedly.
Excellent. All right. Wow. So, essentially, they were. He wanted to keep the hospital open. The ghouls were. You guys pretty much said it all. Yeah. Hey, they're digging up the old bodies with jewelry, and they're like going, "Oh, we can get fresh meat this way without having to like expose ourselves. We'll take that." And then they do swap babies, and so we'll do that.
I might be fascinated enough that I try to find legal precedents around any of this, just academically to see if I could find a way to, in case it ever comes up.
Yeah. I was inspired by obviously Pickman's model, and there's like one paragraph where it describes those paintings, and I was always like, man, that is fascinating. So that's where it came from. And then I wanted to write a scenario that doesn't have an answer. So,
yeah.
Cool.
That's good. It's come up a couple of times in other games, the whole ghoul problem. And like I kind of said there, biologically, I mean, Logan's burrito is dead animal that you're eating. So they're just, and they usually tend to eat just dead people.
Yep.
They don't kill people and eat them. They eat dead ones already.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, they'll kill you if your name's Sean fucking Ferguson.
Yeah, what
that was not the
Get too
ghouls. That was
close.
the hospital.
yeah, what that was is when he talked to Tyler and was like going, "Hey, something's going on." Tyler got scared, and so he paid the ghouls to go kill him. So they dug up through the closet and grabbed him in his office. His office was unlocked. If you just tried the door, you could have walked right in.
Yeah, I figured.
He got killed during grabbed during business hours.
Cool.
All right.
He should have paid them to pick up Thompson. I mean, Thompson with his loose lips is a
Yeah.
But yeah.
He was just guilt-ridden and drunk. So.
All right. Our players included Leszek Thielscher, Shane Hartman, Kent Blue, Morgan Llewellyn, Kuhn Leighton, and myself with Keith Craig as the keeper of arcade lore. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by patrons who are listed in our closing credits. If you'd like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.